Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages. We're back, we're at it again, and like Maverick and Goose on a beach with no fucking t-shirts on, we about to have a good fucking time.
I didn't know we were playing volleyball tonight, bro.
Apparently.
Right, bro.
Dibs on ice, man.
That's Val Kilmer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he didn't. You can be him. I don't care. I just don't want to be Goose. The canopy or whatever.
I don't think no one wants to be Goose.
Nick's not here. He's Goose.
Yeah. He's got the facial hair.
Yeah.
He likes the Righteous Brothers.
Yeah. I'm sure he's got a thing for Meg Ryan.
Don't we all?
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to introduce Kendo Slice. What's up, man?
I'm here, and we've already started off the show with the Top Gun reference, so it can't get any better than that. Oh, wait. Yes, it will.
Oh, God, yeah, it will tonight, dude, because tonight we're going to feel the burn. Yeah, folks, we don't talk politics, but when shit crosses over into entertainment and memes are abound, well, you know we're going to talk about it. So that's not really the main topic of tonight's show. We're going to be talking about the Rian Johnson stuff, of course. I want to know what you guys think about WandaVision, as well as Gwyneth Paltrow. Yes, she's in the news, and it's amazing. So before we start off with any of that, we wanted to start off with our newest patrons. So, guys, it's been an interesting year for patrons. I mean, the year started out, and we've had a bunch of new ones. So, first off, we give a shout out to our friend Darth Fatass for joining at the top tier. Thank you very much, Darth Fatass. We also want to thank our friend Mimo. He joined, as well as TLJ Screwjob. And just in case we forgot, that's everybody for now. But we had a couple people up their patronage, including our friend Darth Kiko. So again, just a shout out to everybody who has joined us over there. Now, I will be filming new content this weekend. Yes, filming. I got the camera, I got the lights, and I got a tripod set up, and we're going to be recording some bonus content for Patreon. So check that out. We will start uploading it probably Sunday, and we'll go from there. So folks, if you want to see that, you know what to do. Now, before we get into any of tonight's festivities, I wanted to talk about something serious for a couple of moments because we're a community, and we try to help each other out when we can. So we have a listener in the community who has a channel. You know the name. He's all over the community. He's probably in the chat right now. It would be if it wasn't for YouTube trying to screw him over royally by taking his channel down. So he goes by McFrozen Nuggets in the chat, and he has been the victim of YouTube just randomly terminating his channel. And his channel talked about toys and Marvel stuff. So it's not like it was some radical, crazy channel. It was just a dude who got the short end of the stick. So what I'm trying to do is spread a little awareness. So he's out there in the community. He's on our Facebook group. He's in all the stuff with social media. And he's been sending these pictures to me. I mean, he's getting this stuff. He goes to his channel, and that's what's up. And then he got one of these. And he doesn't even know exactly how he broke the guidelines because, well, the guidelines didn't even do anything.
Change all the time.
Yeah, they change all the time. So I just wanted to get this out there to spread the word and try to help somebody in our community. And folks, just to let you know what's going on right now. So McFrozen Nuggets, we're all here for you, man. If you need anything else, just reach out.
Yeah, man. They got them goalposts on ATVs, and they're fucking moving them around constantly.
You think Stone Cold Steve Austin's behind the wheel of one of those?
No, Rikishi.
Hell yeah.
He's doing it for The Rock.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. Also, folks, a little bit of housekeeping news. Quarter Black Garrett, Tom, and hopefully Dion, Kendo, and anyone else that's available will be doing the Ninja Turtles commentary relatively soon. We don't have a date picked out, but we know Quarter Black Garrett's interested, and he's available.
Damn well I'll be available.
Well, I just wanted to make sure, man, because I didn't want to do anything without having you on the stream. So, folks, that's just a heads up. That'll be out there. We'll have the information to let you know that soon. So, tonight we have a game, a fun game. Actually, the intention of tonight's game is the opposite of fun, boring. So, Dion, Kendo.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Nick will not be here tonight, folks. Not because anything's wrong. He's just away at a family thing, so everything's cool. Don't worry. We didn't.
The coconut harvest season, Jeff.
Oh, I thought the mayonnaise factory was starting to ramp up production.
They are. So, like, with everything, trying to get dialed back down, vaccines being out there, the mayonnaise factory's up and running again. But the main thing is the coconuts are coming. I guess they're blooming this time of year. So Nick's got to be climbing up there with his little pickaxe and, knocking them out of the trees.
I just love the concept of coconuts blooming was what stumped you there. You're like, fuck, what's another word for blooming?
I was gonna say,
Coconuts
they're
bloom?
coming in or coming due, and it's like, no, coconuts don't really come due. That's
They're
more like,
browning?
yes, they're getting fuzzy. The coconuts they're
Right.
getting the fuzz on their shells. So
It's the fuzzening of part of the season.
that's right. So
Is it like a
Nick's
quickening with
gotta
a Highlander?
Yes, it's very
yeah,
similar to
except
that.
for with more coconutty goodness.
Right. Less
Nobody
Scottish
take your cut
guys
off?
and flamboyant button-ups.
Yeah, no raiding, just raiding them trees for the coconuts.
So, guys, describe your movie. The game is describe your favorite movie as boring as possible. So it doesn't have to be your favorite movie, folks. It can just be any movie. So, Kendo, I have a really basic one. Man goes to
Okay.
work.
Huh. I mean, that could be any movie. Like, there's tons of movies like that. I'm gonna go with Falling Down.
Great choice, wrong answer. Dion, would you like to guess? Man goes to work.
Man goes to work. Debbie Does Dallas.
That is a job, but no, it's
That'd be the
Clerks.
2021 version.
Oh,
Yeah, Clerks. There you go.
See, so you got to describe it in a very boring way. I mean, man goes to work. Awesome. Kid swings from rope, hits face on wall. Spider-Man. Shit like that. Nobody cares
Yeah.
about these.
no, I was gonna go with George of the Jungle, but I feel like that fits it just as well.
Dude, that movie's too epic to even try to describe in a boring way. I love George of the Jungle.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said I hadn't watched it a few times in the last year. Just putting that out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so folks, let us know exactly how you would like to describe your favorite films. Just make sure you do it in a boring way and see if we can actually figure out what they are. So, Kendo, before we get rolling, you excited about the Chiefs this weekend? Tell everyone
Goddamn
what you
right
think.
I am. Dude, Championship Sunday is going to be a big deal for me. The Chiefs game is actually the later one this year, so it's great. So I'll actually be able to watch the NFC title game and know what's going on this year, as opposed to last year where I had to look up the score in the middle of the night after I blacked out about 6 o'clock, 6:30, and woke up, was like, who the hell are we even playing in the Super Bowl? I have to look this up because I was Dunzell, Washington after that Chiefs game last year, dude. I pounded them beers and I drank like a big bottle of that screwball stuff that Nick got me hooked on. So it was good times. So, but this year I get to go slow and steady to win the race. And based on how the football games goes, we'll either go blast off big time or blast off big time.
I just am looking forward to the texts and the messages. Folks, we got a bunch of those this week, or last weekend, excuse me, when the Chiefs beat the Browns. And Kendo had some very choice words for Baker Mayfield. But now...
Don't even remember most of that. I really don't.
I wasn't sober either. I just remember laughing my ass off at getting messages from you.
I just know I woke up the next day. I had drank the entire case of beer that I had started day with, not intending to do so. Half a bottle of whiskey. And let's see, I don't know what happened in the afternoon game. I had to go back and look at that one. Apparently I watched it because I was texting with a couple of guys from work about the game, but I couldn't fucking tell you what happened in the game. But yeah, I'm planning on doing something similar to that, except for this time there'll be ribs.
So I just wanted to put that out there, folks, just in case Kendo doesn't show up for next week's show. He died from alcohol poisoning.
Right.
He died doing what he loved.
Now,
Hey, but we
Dion,
got good news today, man. Holmes was a full practice participant. They're saying he's limited, but he was out there taking snaps wearing his helmet, so he'll be fine.
Now, Dion, if Kendo doesn't make it to the Super Bowl, you and I have to get together, watch the Super Bowl in his honor and his memory. Deal?
Deal. Promise, for sure.
All right. We never forget a fallen bullshitter.
That's right. Never leave a man behind, especially
Well,
when
I
his
mean,
team shits in his mouth.
I mean, if they win, I plan on making it to that Super Bowl, at least, alive. Not actually to the Super Bowl. I can't afford that shit.
Oh, no, that's terrible. Mark C. sent in a super chat that says, just letting crossover fandom menace / Comicsgate fans know Def Colors Kylerritter has the beer bug. Please send thoughts and prayers. I will reach out and see how he's doing, man. Kyle's a cool dude. He and I have talked about working together and stuff. So, if there's anything we can do for him, we gladly will. I know he's been silent for a minute, but I didn't know it was up. So, yeah. But this weekend, guys, Kendo, if you make it, you're gonna have a hell of a Super Bowl. So,
Yes.
two back to back.
Mm-hmm. Never would have imagined.
Well, I'm happy for you, man. It's not like the Bengals will ever do it, so why should I even think about it?
Well, they might if Joe
I'm in
Burrow
the
comes
same
back and his knee isn't
you-
completely hammered.
Right. I mean, we're living in the age where they replace motherfuckers' ACLs with cadaver ACLs. Joe Burrow's gonna be fine.
Pretty soon, that's just gonna be an outpatient procedure. They just pop that knee open, slam a new cadaver knee in there, and just say you're back on the field. And now it's just at halftime, so you'll be fine.
Here's our stem cell cream. Just go ahead and put this on twice a day for the next 2 weeks, and you'll be fine, man. Thanks.
Yeah,
your insurance covers it.
That's right.
You're an NFL player. You'll be fine.
Wait, they actually take dead people's muscles and put them in living people? Is that real or is that just a joke? Because that's really fucking
no, dude. For like ligaments and stuff like that, they use cadaver ones.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has a cadaver ACL.
I went down the rabbit hole one night because those like training videos that they use for like things where it's like computer models and stuff. Well, I found a website that on YouTube that has a bunch of them for like medical procedures.
Mm-hmm.
And it like showed how they repair ACLs and things like that. So one of them was about how they use the cadaver ligaments and things like that. I'm like, that is interesting. When I die, I don't want somebody fucking cutting open my knee and taking my ligaments. It's not my fault I never tore an ACL like some bum.
My dad didn't raise no pussy.
That's right. If I tear my ACL, I'm just gonna fucking walk it off.
Dion, I am glad that you said the word pussy because that is the perfect transition to our next topic.
It's what I do.
It is. So we have been talking about our friend Gwyneth Paltrow for a long time. Actually, we were one of the first podcasts to have a weekly Goop update. We used to read all the Goop emails at the end of each show. So if you want to go back and hear those folks, go back and find a classic WCBS episode. But Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina-smelling candle is in the news for a reason I never thought I'd read about. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard about this, but I'm going to reread it anyway for the audience, just in case. You ready?
Oh, baby.
Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop vagina candle reportedly explodes.
Oh, my gosh.
So
appropriate.
On the list of worst ideas in history, there's got to be a few other ones above Gwyneth Paltrow's candle, but it's up there. Now, Jesse, what do you think of Gwyneth Paltrow's candle? Do you think it was one of the worst ideas? And if so, and if not, what do you think the worst idea is of all time?
I'm not going to say it's the worst idea of all time, but certainly when it comes to beauty products, it probably takes the cake.
Yeah, or the pie in this case. So I read about the candle. We've talked about the candle. We thought it was stupid, but now the candle's back in the news because it blew up in a woman's home. So you guys ready to hear this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Could there be risks in having candles that smell like your vagina? According to Stephen Moyes. Oh, this comes from Forbes. According to Stephen Moyes, writing for The Sun, a woman named Jody Thompson won a This Smells Like My Vagina candle by completing an online quiz. It's not clear what the questions were asked in the online quiz, but presumably it was more than just a single question, such as, what smells like your vagina? Thompson's prize was a candle normally sold on Gwyneth Paltrow's website, Goop, for a cool, or maybe in this case, hot $75. This tweet has a picture of her
product. That candle was $75 fucking dollars?
That's what Gwyneth Paltrow charges for a sniff.
Holy shit! What the fuck? $75 for something you can get at the bus station for a quarter of that? Jeez.
Well, that's not where I go for those things, but anyway, the website describes
so many better usages of money.
Or bus stops. The website describes the candle as having a funny, gorgeous, sexy, and beautiful, unexpected scent, which apparently is how your vagina is supposed to smell. The candle is not actually made out of a vagina because that would have been problematic and no one informed you. Anyway, here we go. Thompson lit the candle. In her words, the candle exploded and emitted huge flames with bits flying everywhere. In other words, there were naughty bits flying all over the room, the Sun quoted. I've never seen anything like it. The whole thing was ablaze and it was too hot to the touch. There was an inferno in the room. Is this weirder than Armie Hammer possibly eating a person?
It's definitely on the same battlefield for sure. Just to get to the nuts and bolts of this. Don't get me wrong. You know, everyone knows Dion loves the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Particularly the fancy ones. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking for a sugar mama my whole life. That's a mission I am still on to this day. That being said, there are very specific times in a person's day where they want to smell a vagina, right? Because if you got a lady taking care of herself, that's awesome, right? It's awesome, sure. But like, you don't want to smell that all the time. Like when you're ready to do something dirty to yourself and or another person, you're all about it. Yeah, I want a healthy one that smells right and does right and reacts. The reaction time, the connection between the mind and what's down there is working great. But like if I'm eating a bowl of ice cream, watching fucking wrestling matches, I don't want to smell vagina. Like what? Like at that point, you're like, what is happening? And then on top of that shit, it's even funnier because fucking Peter Pan's girlfriend is selling candles that blow up. It's almost as if things that run on snake oil don't last very fucking long, especially if it smells like pussy.
I need that as a quote somewhere. Somewhere that needs to be a quote on some DVD or some fucking Tybo ad or something. I don't know. Kendall,
there's one thing Billy Blanks is not doing is sniffing for JJs.
Dude, that Geico commercial he's in is so weird. I'm tired of seeing it.
It's weird, but it makes me laugh specifically because I feel like the only people who watched Tybo were everyone's super suburban mom or kids in high school that had to do Tybo for gym. Like, there's no one else buying those videos, and the fact that he is doing Tybo Geico commercials is fucking. It's like a blast. It's like ghosts of high school bullshit past that won't leave any of us alone. Kind of similar to Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina.
CW Trixie says snake oil would be a more reliable product compared to this.
Yeah. At least that only hurts you financially. It doesn't burn your home down and try to kill your children.
My thing, how do they... Okay, so I get like you have stuff that are scented because we all like they go out and they figure out like how the chemical scent or whatever it is to like, oh, it smells like strawberries or snozberries or whatever it is. Like, did she have to describe what her cooter smells like for somebody to be able to synthesize this smell? Or did you just say, hey, come on in here and get a big old whiff, and then you write down what you think it is, and then we'll, make a candle. Like,
I'm glad you guys are fixated on that part. I just want to know what goes in it to make it blow up.
Like, there's a lot of question marks that we're finding in this story that I feel like it's going to be a long time before we get any straight answers.
Dude, we should play our favorite game from our favorite movie 7. What's in the box? What's in her box that makes a candle explode?
Apparently some potent potables.
Ooh, for 500, Alex. Thank you. Our friend Joseph Pianowitz says, pop goes the weasel because the weasel goes pop. Thanks, Goop.
Yeah. It's just like it's bad. Like, it's bad enough. I mean, your website's named Goop. You're a nutcase. You're conning, some lonely stay-at-home moms who have apparently extra money that they don't know what to fucking do with. And then your vajayjay candles and shit blow up when people just light them and do what you want them to do. I can't think of easier ways to fuck something up than what Gwyneth is doing. And I mean, it's got to be commended. I mean, Homegirl really is going for that asshole of the decade award. She's trying real hard. In this case, trying to make your living room smell like burnt muff.
I mean, okay. All right. So here's the thing. One, how do you broach that topic of here's what I want to make to sell? And secondly, who's your target demographic there? It's like, if you're a guy and you're buying this candle, it's like, yeah, dude, I want to smell that smell and have it around all the time. Yeah, poon hound. Like, okay, I kind of get that. But if you're a chick, like, what's possessing you to say, I want to buy a that smells like someone else's beaver? Because
see, that's a good
I want to light
question.
that, and I just want to have it wafting through my house. Another woman's vagina, just the smell of it throughout my house. Like, I don't get it. I really don't understand. Like,
I imagine the type of
stuff I don't need, but you're like, hey, here's a vagina flavored candle. Even in my worst time, my like driest of dry spells, loserest of loser times, never would I ever be like, yeah, vagina scented candle, let's go. Even for like a quarter, I'd be like, what the hell am I going to do with this?
Dude.
If anything, I there's like a white elephant.
Listen, I think that'd be hilarious as a white elephant. Although I'm pretty sure a $75 muff candle breaks the rules because I think you're not supposed to spend over like $5 for that. But
Yeah.
also, this situation is a perfect
No one's
example.
gonna believe that you spent 75 on it, though.
Well, yeah, they're probably gonna call you a liar for sure. I think that's definitely they
But
definitely
guys,
call you a liar.
What kind of ego goes into making a candle that smells like your cooter? That's the
Dude,
thing.
it's the same. This was made for
Tremendous
people
ego.
for the same woman that like doesn't bathe and goes down to the beach and has fucking cornrows and like watches Born on the 4th of July. Yes, and like
How does Gary Sinise pop up into this conversation, dude?
Well, that too, but Gary Sinise was Forrest Gump. Born on 4th of July was Tom Cruise.
Yeah, my bad. I fucked that one up. But anyway, what does that have to do with Vietnam movies?
Vietnam fucking references aside, that's who's buying these fucking
Walter,
candles.
not everything has to do with Vietnam, man.
My coffee.
But yeah, that's who's buying these. Plus, I imagine that the people who came up with this are just not slightly smarter than the dummies who buy it on purpose. Like this con woman went to other dumb but dumber con woman and were like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna make a candle that smells like a vagina." And like the one chick that was like, who's gonna buy that?" They fired her right away and probably hired a random Vietnamese dude to break her kneecaps or something. But she got the other dummies to be okay with it, and then they made it somehow and sold it, and then all the other dummies who again have $75 apparently to spare that they don't know what to do with bought fucking nasty ass candles that might try to murder you at 3:30 when you're watching fucking The View or whatever.
Now Dion, question from Shadzar: which is a better business? Who's a better
Spencers?
Who's a better businesswoman, guys? Belle Delphine with her bathwater or Gwyneth Paltrow with her candle?
I go with Belle Delphine on this one. When you add a fire element to it, when you make something an incendiary, it changes the game. And I think Belle's like, listen, here's my bath water. You can drink it. You can smell it. You can pour it down your pants, whatever. It's not going to kill you. It's weird, and your guy friends might judge you for the rest of your fucking life, but it's not going to kill you. A fucking flashbang pussy candle is dangerous, and Gwyneth has crossed the goddamn. She's no longer rescue. She's fucking burn view. That's what she's fucking doing right now, and it's fucked up, America.
Dude, it's that extremist shit. That's what's in her candle. They never got it out of her system from
Exactly. That she's got the.
Are you suggesting that she flavored the candles by dipping them in there? Because that just takes us to a whole new.
If there's one famous person that would do that, do you think it'd be anyone else but Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, watch it come out, the documentary, or sorry, when she gets sued by these people and they have to explain how the candles are made. She takes the stage. She's like, "So what we do is we handcraft the candle, and then later in the afternoon, I take a nice shower, a bath, I get all cleaned up, and then I insert the candles into my vagina and I let them sit for 30 seconds."
And she goes, after they perch me up on my stand like the Queen Alien from Aliens, and then I just hang above it, and all of my juices just drip down like the eggs from that movie, and then again they gather it, and it's all there are pots and pots of my extracts, and it's on the floor in jars, similar again to the eggs in the scene where they meet the queen in Aliens. Did I mention that I am the queen of my realm, and I will murder thee if you don't buy my $75 flashbang pussy candle?
Look,
that's right. Cooter candles by Gwyneth.
I think the military should buy the remainder of them and use them as weapons.
I mean, seriously. I think, again, you just kind of do what I feel like the sequel to this is like Aliens Resurrection. When instead of making candles, they just start making grenades. And they clone Gwyneth, and cloned alien Gwyneth gives birth to a mega Gwyneth who not only makes shitty candles, but in this case makes shitty markers that smell like vagina
she's
shitty
like
perfume. Yeah, exactly. It's a project that'll get out of hand, and if we don't control her now, she'll kill us all. She'll kill us all with her exploding vajayjay grenades.
So what you're telling me, Dion, is it's no time to die from her exploding candle vagina?
No time to die.
Well, that shitty forced transition is to talk about the big news that broke 10 minutes ago before we went on air. Did you hear this?
I did not.
James Bond got delayed again.
Nope.
Who'da thunk?
October.
Oh,
Imagine
no.
my shock.
You know, I'm gonna play the game. What'll come out first? Something or No Time to Die. It used to be New Mutants, and it was, New Mutants was a good guess that it was never going to come out. And then shit happened, and it did come out after they bought it. And did it even get a theatrical release? I don't care. But James Bond
got a poster.
Nick's got the poster to prove that at one point that movie was supposed to come out in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you think theaters will open up in time for Bond, or are they just going to push it back to 2022? You know what would be fucked up? Daniel Craig will get the tenure as the longest actor to ever play James Bond because his final film was held off for like 10 years. Wouldn't that be
hilarious? That'd be fucking hilarious. And it comes out and people hate it anyway.
Dude, it was
right.
Look, I'm a firm believer that movie got fucking reshoots.
Absolutely, no. We confirm that they were official reshoots, and then they have to fucking add on like another $20 million for some of those reshoots or some crazy shit like that. So we know that's happened.
Well, it ain't Snyder cut money for reshoots, which we'll talk towards the end of the show. But
fucking that fucking guy.
Now, Paul Greengrass, the director of the Bourne trilogy, I believe he did all of them. He had been interviewed the other day, and he was talking about Bond and his influence and the influence of his films on Bond and all that stuff. But he said he feels that theaters and stuff are going to open up by the summer. So do you agree with his optimistic appraisal of the situation, or do you think it's just safer to say, fuck it, Bond is right going to the summer or the fall at this point?
I'd agree. I know the theater that's by me over on the Lansing side, that one is open. There's talks that the Bistro over on the other side of town with the suburbanites, that's gonna open. They're gonna enact the interior building health code stuff. So I do think it'll open in the summer. Now, obviously, it depends on if we have another crazy increase in cases, but I think if things go the way they're supposed to, I think they could open up in the summer, and it's probably listen, motherfuckers with Bond are gonna find a way to fuck it up, but I think they'll stick with that timeline. October's still kind of a weird time for James Bond, but I'd feel relatively comfortable putting my money on it that theaters are gonna open back up this summer.
I'm okay with waiting. Not because I'm like, oh, it's better to wait, but Bond movies, the good ones at least, have always come out in the fall. So it's been a nice little tradition. Even, God, you can go back, actually since Brosnan, James Bond has been a fall property, and this No Time to Die was going to be the first summer one. So hey, it worked out. I put it back in its window. And I wonder if one of the secrets to Bond is realizing that Bond has an older age cap than something like Marvel or Star Wars, where, I get it. Those are two big properties that appeal to everybody, but I bet you there are more older James Bond fans than there are older Marvel fans. Not like, what I'm saying, like percentage wise, not number to number, because the fan base isn't even the same. It's not the same size pool. But
not that the movie studios would ever fucking openly admit that, but absolutely. I'm right there with you on that one, especially which is interesting, right? Because the crazy, and it's just perfect that you bring up Marvel, because obviously, you've got now the infamous, girl power scene in Avengers, everyone's been clearly going in a certain direction. Bond trying to act as if what's her name is going to be the new 007 and replacing James Bond, and just in general, the forced audience transition they want to happen, where it's just so clear that they, going back to the fall now that's been successful for James Bond. It's just funny how those things always come back to prove the rule that no, we know where you guys want to go and the group that you want to have. But it's you can't, some shit just isn't going to change, so it's just funny that James Bond's going back to the fall, and now they're most likely having reshoots to kind of bring it back into line with the James Bond that its actual fans want. So I love seeing that shit happen. I do. Not everybody learns from it, obviously, but it's funny watching that shit come back every fucking time. Always after all the hoopla and the bullshit.
So, Kendo, is there anything you'd like to add on the James Bond topic? I don't know what else to say besides it got delayed. I get it; it's the virus and stuff. I thought the movie looked whatever. So we'll follow.
It's going to cost them even more money. Because they're going to have to start advertising for it again when it gets closer to get people to say, hey, remember this movie? Yeah, it should have came out a couple years ago, but we're going to put it out. So here's some more trailers and some more advertisement space. So that
God,
budget's
I
just
hate
going
that
to keep
fucking
going up.
name. Jesus Christ. I hate that name so much.
Dude, I'm not a fan of it either. It's a weird Bond title. I get it,
It's the fake Bond title. Like that's the same as Never Say Never Again. Like it's that shitty Bond title.
It's like something that should be said in an Indiana Jones movie by fucking Short Round. No Time to Die, Dr. Jones.
Yeah, or like someone that like knows of James Bond but has never watched it. Like, oh my God, it's No Time to Give In. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, is that a weird movie line that you're trying to? Oh no, that's the actual title you want to give it. Damn.
So, yeah, Bond. Moving on though. Sorry, anyway, cats. So, what is our
movie?
next topic? Yes, the butthole cut. Did you watch it?
Yes, my man. I was thinking the same thing. See, them jokes just be combining and shit.
Like, I get it that people went and saw that movie, but my question is, why would you go see that movie?
The one dude that wrote an article about how he took LSD and went was hilarious, and how he had to leave early. But not everyone did that. But I feel like that's the only. That's a weird. I don't know. There's a lot of. That's another situation where we get more fucking questions than we're ever gonna get fucking answers. Like I just don't. Fucking. You get the chick from Australia, and then let's make a movie where she's a cat, and then we're gonna add buttholes. It's like what? And
That's
like,
$1 million idea.
Yeah, you got Judi Dench and Ian McKellen, and like you decide just to not give them cat hands, you give them human hands, and like it's awesome, man. It's just like talk about a fever dream. God, I need to watch that movie. I need to get drunk or high and watch that shit because
just don't overdo it.
Right. That's a good point.
I just meant watching
that. How about this? If there's ever a time where we ever get to be in the same room again, get drunk and watch Cats.
Like that'll ever happen. I will never see you again. We're just digital only, bro.
Like, yo, man, why did you make me watch this movie with CGI cat buttholes? What is wrong with you? Hey, man, it's an experience. Goddammit. You're welcome.
So we can laugh.
Yeah. There's Ian McKellen with a cat butthole. Hey, look, Jason Derulo. He still can't act.
Wasn't he a singer first?
Yeah, like way before.
Yeah, I don't even.
It's a musical, man. You want to get some people who can sing and apparently look good in cat butthole.
Well, hey, I mean, I would have loved to see the casting call for that. Cat butthole a must. Anyway, moving on.
Can you act like a cat? Now let's look at your butthole.
Yeah. I see too much of that living with cats all the time. Dean Domino, thank you very much. He sends in 3 super chats. He says, glad to catch you guys this week. I had to work early last Thursday, so I couldn't catch the live show. Well, Dean, thank you for joining us this week. He also says, someone brought up fighting music last time and wanted to share some of mine. I recommend Last Dinosaur by the Pillows. It's in the FLCL anime. Well, that's fully cool, I believe. I'm going to take a picture of that and check it out because I like to have background music to draw, so it's always nice to get myself amped up when I'm getting near a project, kind of tired, trying to fight through. Dean Domino also suggests pretty much any boss music from Metal Gear Rising, especially It Has to Be This Way and Rules of Nature. Dean, thanks for recommending that, and thanks for bringing up Metal Gear in general. I've been playing through Metal Gear Solid 2, whatever the Xbox 360 HD remaster is, because it got another up-res or whatever for the Xbox Series X. So I've been playing the hell out of that game. And I just got to the part where Revolver Ocelot shot his own soldier. So Ocelot just appears in the story, Dean. But I'm in Metal Gear Solid mode right now, so I'll check that out, especially when I'm drawing. Our buddy Andy from the UK says, Jeff, Dion, Nick, Kendo, sending the best wishes to you all. Looking for some world-class BS entertainment tonight. What a rush. Yeah, what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? I love those messages. We're going to be talking about wrestlers at the very end of the show, guys. I got a really tough question for you. And I wanted to have it on a week where it was both of you guys, so I could kind of remove myself and play the proctor or basically the Andy Signor on movie fights. So that'll be fun. So we'll say that for the end of the show. But Andy, thank you very much, man. And guys, Legion of Doom, all-time great tag team?
Oh, for sure. I'm their Mount Rushmore fucking easily.
Oh, yeah. They have to be up there. They had the Road Warrior pop. That was a thing because when they came out as a tag team, people went fucking banana.
Oh, God,
and they were big over the world because they were obviously big in the territories, but they were fucking huge in Japan. Greatest finisher, at least greatest tag team finisher of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn. I mean, if they're not on your tag team Mount Rushmore, you're not a fucking wrestling fan. You can get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, I got nothing but respect for those guys. All-time greats.
Mm-hmm. Plus, if you ever want to like cringe, is when Vince tried to use one of their fucking drinking problems for a storyline.
Oh, so wrong, dude. Oh,
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's so fucked up. So fucked up. That's when it's on the wrong side of the real line.
His Dark Side of the Ring on Vice, man, that was one of the harder ones for me to watch because I love a good redemption story, but the stories I hate the most are the guys like Sam Kinison or Road Warrior Hawk, where they get clean and then they die after they got clean. It's like they struggled through all these demons and they worked through it.
Not even long afterwards.
Yeah, not even long afterwards. It's just Sam Kinison was hit by that drunk driver like right after he got clean.
Yep.
And it always breaks my heart when you hear about it too, because he's talking to himself or whatever. People think he's talking to an angel, and he's like, "Yeah, okay," and then just kind of fades off peacefully. I always am bummed out because it's like, shit, you got your stuff together, and you think everything would be better. It's kind of like the end of the Bruce Lee movie. I always get bummed out when I'm like into the movie, and I'm like, oh man, Bruce Lee dies in real life. That sucks. The dragon story, the biography. Remember that one, guys?
Oh, yeah, the one that the dude was, what's his name? Not Brandon Lee, but the dude from Soldier is playing Bruce Lee.
Yeah, Jason Lee, I think. Not Jason Lee.
Not the Jason Lee, but yeah, I know what you're talking about,
yeah, that was a good movie that I used to love as a kid. One of those weird movies that I don't know why a 5-year-old would watch it, but I did. I loved it.
It was cool as shit, man. Like the fight scene when he's fighting the dude in like the ice factory randomly or whatever. It's portrayed as he just fought this dude that showed up to this movie. I fucking love that part too. And then like he has the dream where these dudes are trying to kidnap his son, and he's fighting these warriors off with a pair of nunchucks. I'm like, who has that fucking dream? I love that movie as a kid too. I get it, man. It was fucking cool as shit.
I think if you're gonna talk about all-time legends on the Mount Rushmore of all-time legends, Bruce Lee's got that spot locked in. I know he only was around for a few short years, but his impact is, God, he's been dead for over 40 years at this point, and we still talk about him like he just put out a movie last summer.
ESPN just put out another documentary about him on ESPN Plus.
Well, then I need to check. I don't want to give them my money, but I love sports documentaries, like a lot. Even about athletes I don't care about. I'll watch any sports documentary because I get it. You know, I get what it's like to be the athlete, and then I love to hear what they're like as people, and then everyone likes a good train wreck, and then, you know, you love a good story, and then sometimes the sad ones, like Lyle Alzado, that guy that had the brain tumor or something. He was the football player than the actor. Like, they're sad, but they're compelling stories.
Yeah, man. If it makes you feel better, I do pay the $5 for ESPN Plus, and then I stream everything else, so it kind of offsets it nicely.
Fair enough, dude. I mean, you got to fight the system some way.
That's right. Dana White can kiss my black ass. I'm still gonna pirate the pay-per-view, bitch.
Hey, I don't blame you, bro. TLJ Screwjob says, what happened to Pull of the Week, i.e. Lithgow versus Rambo? Oh, we should bring that back. I completely forgot about that. Kendo, do you want to bring back the polls?
Rambo won that poll.
Yeah,
I mean, we can bring back the polls of the week. That's fine, but it was because it was like 66% in favor of Rambo.
Oh, really? Lithgow kind of got okay. Well, he was very menacing.
I was gonna say, I think the last poll we did was the one that I just threw up one day about picking your favorite Ninja Turtle, and I think Raphael won that one, but I could be mistaken. That was a few months ago. We haven't had a poll of the week or anything recently.
Yeah, I feel like the reset of the year has been nice, but now it's like, oh, we got a few other things we got to bring back. So we will bring that one back. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob. Mark C, thank you very much. We did read yours about Kylerritter. We will definitely, reach out and make sure he's okay. TLJ Screwjob says, not going to repeat Big Papa Scott Steiner jokes from last time you guys talked about the Paltrow candles. Also, Princess tries to find her family? ? What film do you think that is?
Listen, you had my attention at Steiner, goddamn it, because when you go one-on-one with another pussy-smelling candle, you got a 50-50 chance of that shit blowing up in your house. But us, we're not normal.
You're never going to try. Bill Paltrow knows she can't even get us to puke. You have to mess
with her fat asses.
We have a 33 1/3% chance of meeting.
That would be hilarious. And then it would be even funnier. She was like, don't you
I hope
guys
so.
have the YouTube channel? And we'd be like, yes, we do. And she'd be like, oh, because you were making fun of my candles. And I'd be like, yeah, because they're terrible. And it was a terrible idea. And you should deserve every exploding pussy grenade that you've made. For sure. You're
Dion,
welcome.
I've said this publicly, but for as much as I would love to hang out and do hard drugs with Nicolas Cage, I'd like to interview Gwyneth Paltrow just as much because she's weird.
But you gotta try and get the actual, like, the con woman, not her character that she portrays, where she's like, I am Xena warrior princess. You gotta try and get you gotta somehow get her to agree to give you truthful answers. Like, how did you come up with Goop? How much money do you make off this shit? Blah blah blah. Because if you just get blow smoke up your ass, Gwyneth, she's not gonna give you any like good stuff. You're gonna get all these con answers.
We'll treat it like a Joe Rogan show. We'll get her really stoned, and then we'll ask her the questions.
I like it.
So after TLJ Screwjob, we have to figure out his thing. Princess tries to find her family. Ray's not a princess. Because a great one popped up earlier after that one that I've been thinking about.
No, it's that one Anastasia.
Oh.
That's your guess?
Yeah, Anastasia. You know about the chick that thought she was the Russian princess?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Dark ass story, Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's make a Disney movie out of that.
Yeah.
Whole family got murdered. Yep, we're gonna make an animated movie about it. Anastasia. She's the princess.
That was a Fox movie, but Disney always has set the precedent of like, how do we start our movies? Let's kill a parent. Let's kill Bambi's mom. Let's make Cinderella be, stuck with shitty step parents.
Disney's always hated parents.
Disney always hates parents.
They extra hate, like, moms just never exist in Disney, but they love killing parents too. That's really fun. They love killing dads, especially. Because it's Cinderella's dad who dies at the beginning of the story to leave her all alone. It's Mufasa who dies in The Lion King.
Oh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about Mufasa's death on the show.
Oh, that one's brutal.
Too deep. It hurts too much.
Taker 610 says Pats versus Bill. Sorry, Kendo.
Okay, I'm not sure why he's apologizing to me for making a terrible, prediction, but okay.
This is a great one from Liquor Jim. Let's see if we can figure it out. Man discovers wad of Kleenex in pants. Multiple 187s follow.
So he kills a bunch of people after he finds Kleenex in his pants.
Kleenex in his pants.
Oh God! Is it the
What
Joker?
movie did somebody kill somebody after finding Kleenex?
I know. I was gonna say John Wick, but the Kleenex thing is throwing me off.
Yeah.
Jingle all the way.
I'm just gonna go with falling down again.
I'm gonna go with the Brave Little Toaster.
That's a good choice too.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Dom. The Torettos, man, they need to just stop parking outside my house. It's getting rough.
He wants to be a part of your family.
I don't need my fucking family tonight. I need to do the show. Shut up, family.
God damn it, Vin Diesel.
Oh, Mark C, this might be my favorite one you've ever sent in. Mark C says Gwyneth Paltrow brings a new meaning to the term fire crotch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Big Joe says, sounds like I could just blow up a can of tuna for cheaper instead. It'd smell better too.
I mean, at this point, absolutely.
Just microwave the tuna instead of toaster ovening it, and there you go.
A lot less dangerous.
Well, I'm guessing her candle smells like hot
Probably
tuna.
Tastes better too.
Perfume. Ugh. I wouldn't eat any of it.
God,
Our friend Andy from the UK says it exploded near me. What a mess! I forgot you were over in the UK.
So now we're allowed to send Giner candles, internationally. What a world we live in.
We read yours, Joseph Pianowitz. Thank you about Pop Goes the Weasel because the weasel goes pop. Thanks, Goop. Mark C says Dion doesn't want to always smell the JJs. Sir, why would you think guys grow mustaches? It's a flavor saver.
That's good. That's good.
I'm learning a lot about the audience tonight.
Man after my own heart. I love it.
And SH Rebel sends in a laughing pair. Thank you very much for the laughing pair. I hate this traffic. We'll read the end of the Gwyneth Paltrow ones, and then we'll move on to our next topic, the Bernie Sanders news. Well said. And the unauthorized biography of Tom Hanks says it's just like Pepper Potts' vagina during Iron Man 3.
Damn.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Ugh.
Eddie Max of Andor says, what's the age of the lady parts that candle is representing? That matters. Roger Haynes, thank you very much. He says, Mead sent me. Well, Tom, thank you very much for sending folks over. And Roger, thank you for joining us tonight. Mark C says,
Mead
Gwyneth
is a
has her
tasty
second
drink.
candle that's supposed to smell like her climax. Ew.
For real?
Oh boy, there we
I
go.
hope not, because that's.
So are they suggesting that she fobs herself off with candles in order to get them to smell that way?
I told you, the fucking queen perched up like the queen in fucking Aliens. It seems more and more likely every the deeper we get in this shit.
I guess I was right when I talked about how she makes them smell that way. Oof.
So, folks, like we said at the beginning of the show, we never talk politics because it's not really that interesting and it's not on brand. But when stuff crosses over into pop culture, well, it's just too good not to talk about at times, because tonight, this isn't really the main topic of tonight's show, but it's a catchy title card. Kendo, you have been in love with these Bernie Sanders memes. What was your favorite?
They're so good.
Far?
The best one so far is the one where it's Macho Man Randy Savage from, I think, WrestleMania 4, where he's holding up Bernie Sanders instead of Miss Elizabeth. Although another one that I really like is the Willie Mays catch from the '54 World Series, where he's doing the over-the-shoulder catch thing and Bernie's sitting there in the Polo Grounds. It's great.
It
That
was
was
just
a good one too.
Yeah, they're all the pop culture ones that I have seen have made me laugh. I love The Sopranos. We got Double Sopranos. We got The Office. I mean, that one's okay. But this is the one that you sent earlier, and this got me.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's another good one.
This game one I don't get, but the Bill and Ted one makes me laugh. It's like everyone is making these all of a sudden. This is the meme. It's like everyone can get on board. Nobody cares about the politics or anything like that. It's like, you know what? A good joke is a good joke. And damn it, Bernie Sanders looking like an old lady chilling there. It makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, Dion, any favorites that have popped up for you?
I mean, the Macho Man was great. The one where DX is in the ring playing poker and he's fucking sitting next to China is great. Him sitting between Mark and Johnny and from The Room is hilarious. Obviously between Han and Chewie, I think is my favorite one. The one where it's him sitting next to fucking Forrest Gump, I saw that one online. That one was fucking hilarious.
Yep, that's a good one too.
Oh my God, well, it was like I think there was one from like a Spice Girls concert when they're all in chairs and he's sitting there next to her. That one was really fucking good. There's so many. Lincoln Park. I just see the Lincoln Park one earlier. That was great.
Nice. I have not seen those yet. That is awesome.
See, folks, if you ever wonder what it's like behind the scenes of World Class Bullshitters, well, Nick just won. Shit. Let me share Nick's. Nick isn't even on the show tonight. Jesse, you might want to check this one out. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Man on the plane. I love
That's a great one.
Now I want to watch that episode.
Oh,
But the problem is, every time I watch the episode, it'll feel subpar unless it's got Bernie Sanders instead of the carpet guy on the wing.
I think my favorite one so far, it was just the straight up original picture, and it was just the caption was Jewish yoga. This is the waiting for your wife at Loman's Post. And it was so spot on. I was like, yeah, that's the one. There's nothing, you can move him into whatever situation you want, but nothing will ever be better than that.
Because it hit you here.
It really got me right in the fifis.
I do love this
McFly
back.
family one. Yep, I just saw that one too. That one's great.
Dude, that one was shared by Leah Thompson, which makes me laugh. Like,
that's awesome.
The reason I wanted to bring this up too is this isn't just like a couple people on the internet sharing it. Like celebrities are involved. Like this is that meme, and I'm waiting to find the one that'll just make me laugh till I get a headache. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Isn't it really interesting that as soon as this last election cycle is over, two of the most polarizing figures in American politics recently, one just disappeared and the other one became a hilarious meme that literally everyone's on board with.
I mean, here he is at Splash Mountain. Look at him.
Yeah.
I'm so into that one. Oh my God, that one's great.
Look at the black dude with the TED t-shirt though. That guy's.
Oh my God. I need to scan it. Remember that raw fear picture of Jackie, my little sister, on that one? I need to scan Bernie Sanders in behind her on that one.
I just want to know this black dude's story, Dion, because he's got everything about this guy just speaks interesting.
Yes, I think he's got a great origin story that we need to investigate.
Including the chick next to him, whose personal space he is very not concerned about.
That's his girlfriend.
Which is like, but again, like that is not. I want to know that story too, because that is not a healthy relationship.
Now I agree. Now here's Bernie on the battlefields of Hoth.
Yep.
Now, Kendo, I got a question for you. Is this a lot like that Brian Williams situation? Like this photo came out, and this is clearly doctored. Now Bernie's been saying he's at the Battle of Hoth. Do you believe him? He was there. He saw it with his own eyes.
Yeah, I would tend to believe him. I think I would be inclined to believe him. I mean, there's photographic evidence right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the trenches fighting off those walkers. Actually, he's just waiting this one out.
He just seems rather complacent considering all the chaos that's going around. I mean, you got rebel troops just running for their lives. You got the Imperial walkers coming after him, and he's just kind of chilling like everything's gonna be fine. And it's like, I don't know. That I love that one too, where he's in the fucking penalty box with Ryan Reeves.
This was the thing I like about these is how well they're done. It looks like he's actually there. That's the best part of the joke is that, you know how traditionally there's these memes that are just garbage memes and everyone seems to laugh at them. The artistry is important to these ones. If you don't get them just right, they just like this one. If you don't cut it out just right, it looks stupid.
The Indiana Jones ones is great.
I think that's a great one. We have our DX.
Yep.
We have the Room. We had, I almost called him Boba Fett. We have the Mandalorian and
sitting in the fucking Razor's Crest. That's great.
And finally with Deadpool. So, folks, if you guys, if you have those, just post them to our Facebook group. What we'll do, Kendo, Dion, remind me to make a little post and tell everyone to do their best. Just all it is it's funny meme, folks.
It is, and it's like you said, it's not even a political thing. It's like crossed every boundary. And I realized that last night when getting ready for the Blues game, the St. Louis Blues official account posted a picture of the stands being empty, but Bernie Sanders sitting there by himself because they only allowed like 80 people in the arena or something. I'm like, good for you guys. This is crossing all the boundaries. This is what we need right now. This is the unity and healing, rallying around a Bernie Sanders meme.
Love it.
There it is right there for you, Kendo.
I have a question.
Hey.
Nobody got Bernie Sanders' official statement on these memes.
I don't know what he says about him officially yet, but
I want to know that. I want to know what his official statement is on just the memes in general.
Well, people are going nuts on Twitter, so you can tweet at him.
Because I feel like it's either somewhere in between he has a favorite and just not understanding what a meme is.
Wow, that was loud.
Family.
Yeah, I'm going to mute this until it's over.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, damn. Bernie apparently was very pissed and he came after old Jeff.
Bernie ordered a drone strike on Jeff. He was mad about the memes.
Look, if it'll get me out of Good Morning Pop Culture, send it. I'm just joking. Folks, I got one tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So what is that, 1 p.m. Eastern, right?
On the East.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Good afternoon, pop culture.
Yeah, so good afternoon, pop culture. It's the end to your Friday, folks.
You're all like, I got to get up early and do my show tomorrow. Bro, your sister's at 10.
I know, and I'm up every morning at 7. So
Yeah, right.
it's, what is that? Instead of that shitty show Science Friday, it's Pop Culture Friday.
Science Friday was just the amazing way we learned science on Fridays when I was in Waterbound. So,
well, I don't know how NPR is on my Facebook, but I don't follow them or support
do they have
them.
Science Friday?
I don't know, but they're always in my fucking feed. Anyway, guys, Star Wars. We've been talking about Star Wars for years. It's a topic that we care about, and now we get to talk a little more about it. You guys remember the old film Star Wars Rogue One? Or Rogue One, a Star Wars story?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the parts that everyone seemed to love was Alan Tudyk as K2SO. And so when the talks of the Cassian Andor series started to pop up, a lot of people thought to themselves, I don't like the character Cassian Andor, but K2SO means I'm going to watch it. And I'm one of those people. I liked K2SO so much that I have his action figure. Yes, paid $5 for it because it was normally $20, but I still have it. But that being said, we have an update about K2SO and Alan Tudyk on Cassian Andor's series. So Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars is facing another massive failure, as actor Alan Tudyk has confirmed he is not playing K2SO in the upcoming Andor series for Disney+. Not only is it a failure because it appeared... Well, okay, anyway, if you recall, Kennedy revealed that both Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk would be reprising their roles from Rogue One as Cassian Andor and K2SO for the Andor series. Kennedy stated, and now I like to bring out the 2 actors who will play in the new spy series. So long story short, Alan Tudyk has confirmed that he is not a part of the show. He told Collider, they're shooting it right now. I'm not in it. However, he did add the caveat, but if it stays on the air and stories keep getting told, I'll end up in there. Tudyk would acknowledge that Disney has been using him to promote the series despite him not actually being involved. He explained, I'm in all these announcements for the show, and I had suggested at D23 when we announced the show that it be called K2 Fast, K2 Furious, the Cassian Andor series. And it's not happening. It's called Andor. And while Tudyk claims it's possible he might end up on the show, he does worry about his age. I do know this. I have to be on stilts for it because the character is 7'1", and I'm not one of those guys that says somebody else do the motion capture and I'll voice it later. I'll have to do the motion capture, and I turn 50 in March, he adds. So I hope they get to it soon because I'm not going to be on stilts in like 5 years. I'm not doing it. He would also reveal that he believes the show, if the show goes on past the first season, that he'll be a part of it. So I just wanted to call out how shitty it is for Disney to tell us Kathleen Kennedy got caught. Well, yeah, it's not that she got caught in a lie. They just lied to us all. Because why would Alan Tudyk go to Collider and say, I'm not in the show?
It's the most Disney thing ever, man. Like they want to say that they're doing things instead of actually doing them, and then they expect actors to just go along with shit. And again, I think there's just so much to be said about how Lucasfilm decides to do business. And it's just, and especially in now 2021, where there are just so many emergences of groups of people being vocal, about their rights and what they deserve, this, that, and the other thing, and in a lot of cases it's actors, right? Like you can't just make them do what the fuck you want. I mean, obviously a lot of them are removed from reality. A lot of them talk before they can fucking think. But Alan Tudyk's not one of them dudes. The dude is very well respected, especially amongst so many fan bases for so much of the shit that he has done. And just for fucking Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm to just assume he's gonna go along with it and do it for free is just ridiculous. It's just so fucking ridiculous. And again, they just love the fucking flavor of that shotgun barrel. They cannot help themselves. We said this, even when they were fucking over the artists that the posters for the Rise of Skywalker were based on. They for some reason they can't. There's the way to do business in the public, and then there's the way to fuck it all up in the public's eyes. And they keep going to the fuck it up version. And I just don't know who's making these decisions. I don't know what their process is for okaying statements, but they can't fucking help themselves. And it's comical at this point. It's comical.
Right. It is comical. What do you think, Kendo?
I was gonna say it's par for the fucking course for Disney at this point. It's like they're trying to come up with anything and everything Star Wars. It's like I said, they just want to beat the shit out of that pinata until there's no candy that comes out of it anymore. And then once that happens, they're just gonna pound it into the ground. But it's like they gave you a Cassian Andor story. It's like, who wanted the Cassian Andor story? Nobody raised their hand. So it's like, what was popular about Rogue One? The best thing about the movie was K2SO. Oh yeah, Alan Tudyk will be there. Have you guys talked to Alan Tudyk about it? No, he'll be there. It's like they're just saying shit just to say shit at this point and just coming up with anything and everything to try to say, you guys will love it. You guys will love it. You guys will love it. And I don't think they have their ducks in a row anymore.
I don't think they've had them in a row since, 2015. Because they got everything right to that launch of that movie. Everyone bought into that one. And then, but you guys already know that story. So we'll spare you the recap. But this just popped up and I thought, wow, another reason why I'm not excited for this Cassian Andor show. Alan Tudyk, man, I was hoping you'd be a part of it. I will watch anything Alan Tudyk is in, and I almost mean that anything. I'm trying to think of what he's in that I dislike. Let me look him up real quick. You guys like Alan Tudyk, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Of course.
I fucking love Firefly. It pissed me off what they did to him
Tick.
in Serenity. He was great in the fucking Tick. The dude is just hilarious. Obviously
He was
Tucker and Dale.
It was the best part of Dodgeball, which is hard to say because that movie was just fantastic all the way around.
Yeah.
Listen, I do love that movie, but he is easily one of the fucking the linchpins in that fucking movie.
Steve the Pirate's amazing.
Steve the Pirate.
He's
Yar,
awesome.
Peter. Yar, Steve.
Just oh my god, dude, it's just ridiculous.
He's been in a lot of shit I've never seen, like Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwreck, but then again, he's in a lot of stuff I have seen, like, I don't know, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which I love that movie. Or
Yeah, he's awesome in
Four
fucking
Weddings
Doom
and a
Patrol.
Funeral, and
Yes.
that movie's
Isn't he-
fantastic.
isn't he in both versions? No, wait,
That's
sorry.
right.
Peter
I
Dinklage-
believe so.
Yeah, I want to say
No,
that.
Peter Dinklage is in both versions, but yeah, the British version, Alan Tudyk's in it.
You mean Death at a Funeral?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of, Death at a Funeral. Either way, that movie's great. If you've never seen Death at a Funeral, go watch it.
I saw the American version in theaters and then the British version on Netflix. And
Yeah.
no, it's not that Alan Tudyk's in both. Peter Dinklage plays the same character in the British and the American one. It's really fucking weird.
Okay, there's it. But either way, Alan Tudyk is in the British one. He's American in the British one, and he's playing a British guy who ends up on, was it acid on accident? It's just fantastic.
Our friend Nesana-san, excuse me for the butchering that, says, why would you not put him under some sort of contract so that he would cooperate with their marketing? Is that the shotgun you speak of? Paltrow flavored?
Yes, that would be the shotgun.
Yeah, that's a great fucking point. The dude just can't not the dude, but the fucking that company just can't help it, man. Like, especially there are the things that they try to make popular, and then when the things that they didn't have an emperor like hand in, they force it, and instead of fucking, which is so dumb too, because like how popular he is, right? And if anything, when you have the crazy turnout that you had for people that love that character, in Rogue One, and instead of just doing right by him being like, hey, the people fucking love you, we're gonna make sure that if we're doing this show that he's in it, we're gonna have him be the face of the show for right now to get people to watch it. You just lie. And it would just be so much easier to get him on board, and then you don't have to worry about it. But you put the shotgun bear in your mouth, and you're like, man, I hope he doesn't say anything. Like, of course he's gonna say anything. You're not paying him, but you're trying to
start doing, putting out press releases for shit that we're gonna do with actors that have not agreed to it.
Exactly. Like, it's just so ridiculous, man. Like, come on. Like, it would have been just so much easier. Hey, we want to do the Cassian Andor series. Even if you're not going to be in the very beginning, we're gonna let's pay you to talk about blah 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 blah. Sure, if he's got the time, I'm sure he'd fucking do it. But just to be like, he's gonna be in it. He's gonna be in it. And he has to go to fucking Collider and say, no, I'm not fucking in it. It's just like, who's running this shit, man? Like, come on.
Well, I'm just glad that Collider shilled so hard that they got to break the news story. So there you go, folks. Good job. That's what happens when you're a fan for 5 years, right, Christian?
Damn.
Dude, that was just my favorite outburst ever. Like, yeah, the Chuck Wendig stuff and the stuff Ryan Johnson says is, embarrassing and funny. But that damn message from him, that's the one that I always go back to.
Why don't you refresh the listeners, my man?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on just a second. The cat is about to knock over my...
Yeah, he was mad about the family. He's like, I'll show you a butthole.
That's right.
But yeah, man, it's just so Disney. Like this, we're gonna say something and then you're just gonna go along with it. Like this, like he's not Hannah Montana. Like he's not just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm in the show. Yeah, sure, Disney said it. Oh yeah, they're using my name to promote something I'm not a part of. Yeah, I'm just gonna be okay with that shit. You're like, no, like what? Like just how do you think that that's okay? How do you think that shit is okay? Any other company, their general counsels are going crazy. Like, yeah, don't mention him if he's not working with us. Da, 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 da. But Disney's just like, fuck it, we're gonna do it anyway. We're just gonna do it anyway. He'll be fine. This is totally gonna work well for us when we're trying to promote this new show that we're coming out on our fucking streaming platform. Yeah, this is the attention we want our new show coming out to have. Is that we're not bringing in what the fans want instead of just doing what the fans want, dude. It's just. It's just so ridiculous.
That's why the High Republic isn't really taken off. Yet it mysteriously debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. I got a video on that coming out on Saturday. Actually, no.
Wonder how that happened.
Shut up, video will be out tomorrow. I don't even know why I'm telling you folks to wait for it. It'll just be out in the morning. Fuck, it's almost done. But I actually go into excruciating detail on why the New York Times bestseller list means bullshit and how it's been manipulated for decades and decades and decades, and how when their feet get held to the fire, they talk about how it's not even an actual metric for book sales. So, yeah, there's some fuckery that's gone on with the New York Times bestseller list. And guess what? Somehow Star Wars always gets involved in this fuckery. So come back tomorrow to talk about that one.
Big time shenanigans.
The only shenanigans I want to deal with are on Mary Mayhem's channel. So, folks, make sure you subscribe to Mary Mayhem. So I didn't want to go into this one super detailed because we have a very successful video on the topic, but I wanted to pick your guys' brain real quick about Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill and Peyton Reed. So I can spare the audience the long-form details because you guys can go back and check out the video, but you guys have been aware of Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill's back and forth on Twitter over the last couple of years, correct?
Yes.
Correct. They do not like each other.
No, it was not a good time making The Last Jedi, and guess what? We agree that it's a shit film. But the other day, Peyton Reed reached out to Mark Hamill and kind of showed you how to treat a legend. So Peyton Reed had sent out this tweet that says, Dear Hamill himself, when I was a kid, this photo hung in my bedroom. Star Wars and Luke Skywalker in particular meant a great deal to me. Some things never change. It was an honor and a dream come true to work with you on The Mandalorian. Thank you. May the Force be with you. Which is a really cool thing. Like, if you're going to talk to Luke Skywalker again, this is kind of the shit you're going to say to him. And then Mark Hamill responds with, I'm so grateful to have been given the unexpected opportunity to revisit my character when he was still a symbol of hope and optimism. Your assured direction and kindness was a crucial element in the experience. Fuck you.
And family.
It means more than I can say.
Family.
Yeah, family. What do you guys think of this? I just wanted to get your take before we move on. Do you think Mark Hamill... do you think this was a backhanded compliment, or sorry, a backhanded response to Rian Johnson as well as a compliment to Peyton Reed, or do you think
100% backhanded? 100% backhanded.
Oh, totally. He knew what he was saying with doing that.
Like, the dude was so clearly heartbroken after The Force Awakens, and again, I think this is just perfect with, how a 2 days ago Finn was trending on Twitter, and of course you have The Last Jedi defenders coming out in droves to try and convince sensible people that movie doesn't suck. And it's like, all you need to know is the other face of Star Wars fucking hates the director. And it's talked multiple times how they fucked that character up. This is further proof of that. And I love it because you can't argue with fucking Luke Skywalker. Not only is he in Star Wars, he fucking loves Star Wars. Or at least is super appreciative of it. So it's just like, I love this shit. Because, Last Jedi is actually a great movie and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, it fucking wasn't. Because you ruined a character and it took a fucking TV show that was able to do it far better than you did with the 4 minutes that the character was on screen. And it's just, I fucking love it. Fuck that guy. Fuck Rian Johnson.
Yeah, yep. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, me neither. So I won't. Let's hear what the audience is saying, though, for a moment before we move on to our next topic. Mark C. says, theaters can't stay closed and continue to exist. By the time theaters are allowed to open back up, there'll be no theaters left open. What do you guys think of that assessment?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, man. It's a scary time if you're in the theater business, for sure.
Right. I mean,
they
make their money solely on having movies and people to come see them.
I know a lot of people use this as an excuse to say, oh, the future of this and that. But I don't know if it was my negative experience because the movie was dog shit. But after having Wonder Woman be released on Christmas, same day in theater as HBO Max, what I'm finding out, I know this is just one film, and we'll see if it's for other films moving forward. I don't really value those films. For many years, I've treated streaming as an alternative to home video. It's like when it comes out, I'll eventually watch it if I'm not that interested. The indicator that I was ready for a film was I need to see it before the first day. I got to see it fucking Thursday night at 7:00. And that's before the show ever existed, folks. I was always on board with the big movies. And I love that stuff. But getting my first taste of this, I know that I will be ready to go see the big films because they'll mean more to me because of the experience, not just watching it at home on my couch.
Well, and again, and we said this when they announced that Wonder Woman was going to be on HBO Max. They needed it to do well, because if we're talking about the transition of the movie release machine, you can't have the first big one be a fucking dud, and it was. We're talking about what was a fork in the fucking road. This could have either been, the Blade-esque kickoff to a new trend, or a fucking fat turd that just splashes the fucking water. And that's what Wonder Woman ended up being. So I think if anything has proven that it's not yet time for that, it's fucking now. I mean, I think so many theaters are finding ways to come open, all this shit. People clearly still value that theater experience. And I really don't think it's going to go away. I would have been saying a hell of a lot different had Wonder Woman been a success, because that ushers in a whole new way that movies are released. But with that not doing well, and like I said before, how Justice League isn't going to do well, people are going to be going back in droves, man. I as long as we get them open, I think we're going to be a theater going people once again.
Oh yeah. I'm very thankful that my local theater was open during over the course of the last year, because they opened back up in the summer and they were showing old movies. I think that would be the best way to get people back in, is showing the greatest hits. Because if it wasn't for that, the last movie I will have seen in a theater and may have ever seen in a theater would be the fucking Rise of Skywalker, and I don't think I could go to my grave with that one. So thank you to my local theater for opening back up and showing the classics. But that would be the best way to do it, would be to open them up. You can have a big new movie or two to put out there, but fucking lean on the classics, man. People will pay $5 to go see one of their favorite movies in theaters on the big screen.
Oh, dude, I don't want to say it to jinx it, but if it's a favorite movie of mine, I don't mind paying the same price to see Ghostbusters as I would the newest whatever movie. Because if it's something I love, it's, price is no object. How many fucking copies of Beverly Hills Cop do I own? So yes, $5 is optimal for me too. But I'm just saying, like, if it's a classic, or if they want to throw like special features, Wayne's World had a 25th anniversary a couple years back. Obviously, that's how time works. But they did a special screening for it, and not only did you get to see the film, but they had like a weird satellite interview. And Kendo, I don't know why this part makes me laugh so much, but when they did the interview with the cast of Wayne's World, name 3 or 4 actors that you would expect to be on there.
Well, I would say you're going to get Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, possibly Tia Carrera, Rob Lowe. I mean, that's just the top 4 in the building. But I'm thinking none of those 4, with the exception of maybe Dana Carvey, were involved in that.
That is correct, because I think Tia Carrera was involved, but you also got the woman who plays Noah Vanderhoff's wife. But the one that blew me away, the reason I'm telling this story, Robert Patrick.
Oh, they got Robert Patrick.
For the 2 seconds he was in it?
Yes! For the scene where he replays the fucking T-1000.
I mean, it's an amazing scene.
Yeah, it is, but it's just
that I get, because he's been really cool about all the fucking popular shit he's been in. So that actually makes sense. Robert Patrick's apparently a super cool fucking dude to fans, so that actually doesn't surprise me. I
would just love to. He's a celebrity I'd love to have an interaction with, like you did with Billy Zane. Like, I would like for my Billy Zane to be Robert Patrick, because he just seems so fun.
Yeah, man, he seems really fucking cool.
Our boy Go Big Boar Go Home just saw Back to the Future in theater 2 weeks ago. So I'm
you lucky bitch.
I saw that over the summer. God, that was great. Those were good days.
Yeah. Family. Yeah. I'm sorry. Folks, eventually I'll move into a padded cell because I've gone crazy. No, I'll eventually have a new office and a new studio. Moving on. Yeah. Well, I miss my old office. Mr. TLJ Screwjob first says, didn't Tom say that they TLJ bond? Oh, in terms of No Time to Die, there is a trend of shitting on your male leads. I guess it's cool for some people, but the audience doesn't like it. It would be interesting. This is all, not factual whatsoever. Just be a thought experiment. But to plan the world where No Time to Die was essentially like The Last Jedi, where they treat James Bond like Luke Skywalker, but somebody let MGM know exactly how that happened and how that worked out, so they went back and fixed it. That's the alternate bullshit non-Zapruder film theory, all that crazy stuff.
It's entirely possible.
I mean, listen, I don't think that's. I think that's 100% what fucking happened. I mean, you watch how channels like ours got so much fucking traffic. You watch how the fucking zeitgeist, the fucking Rise of Skywalker disappeared. It disappeared overnight. That's not hyperbole. It's not me trying to be coy. It's not me trying to be, silly fucker like I usually am. That shit disappeared. The fucking ending got railroaded. Yeah. And then you had the studio come out with excuse after excuse as to what happened that everyone knew what actually happened. I think that's 100% what happened. I think so many studios were doing that shit, and I think MGM fucking panicked when it did what the trilogy of a Star Wars film does, and it made way fucking less than the first one, than The Force Awakens, and I think they fucking had a goddamn heart attack.
Dude, I can't right now. Emotionally, I gotta lay off the Force Awakens stuff. Kendo was there.
I don't fucking blame you, dude.
Kendo, do you remember
the beep boop bop?
I'm sorry.
Tried to do back-to-back commentaries of the Force Awakens in the last. What?
Oh, last year? Yeah, you cut out. Or you talking about? Yeah, I was last year when we did those we were going to do the Force Awakens and the Last Jedi the night before we went to see the Rise of Skywalker. Kidney. Oh yeah, Camp Kidney. Yeah, I was there for that. That was. Oh, that was. We got through that was very difficult. We got through the Force Awakens somehow, and then I don't even know. Did we do the Last Jedi?
Nope. We microwaved the disc.
Yeah, that's right. Because you guys never saw what happens when you put a disc in a microwave before, so I wanted to show you. So I showed you, and then I think I dropped the big leg on the case, Hogan style.
You did. That was one of the funniest things you've ever done. So
yeah.
Mr. Tickle Trunk says the number of Freudian slips when he said pussy flavored candle was astounding. Liquor Jim says movie. This is the one that threw me off when we were talking about the other movie, because I actually was thinking about this one. I think I figured it out. Liquor Jim says movie. Taxi driver takes lady to a temple in the desert.
The race to.
Taxi driver takes a lady to a temple in the desert.
I was gonna say race to which mountain, but it wasn't a lady. What the fuck?
No, taxi driver. I'm gonna go with Scrooged because there was a taxi driver in that.
To a temple in the fucking desert.
Now the audience can guess this. I know the answer. Yeah, I think you do too.
Yep.
On three, say it. 1, 2, 3. The fifth element. There you go. Thank you, Liquor Jim. Our friend Adam Wofford sends in a generous super chat. Thank you, Adam. He says, Dion will marry a big-breasted Asian centaur before No Time to Die will be released and have 6 kids. Also, where's Nick? Arch is working to get his channel back.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, if you can have 6 kids before October, dude.
Well, I mean, it's a centaur.
Bounce back. Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say they might be able to have like a lot in one sitting.
Right. Well, and plus they bounce back real fast. That centaur gooch. The word on the street is it's unforgivable.
I mean, you just got to be able to get a nice big hold on those fucking hindquarters there, though, Dion.
I was just focused on the gestation period. I guess the idea of an Asian centaur doesn't, surprise me.
I was just focused on the horse part of it.
I forgot about the horse part. So did Dion. Oh, well, when Dion gets back, I'll get to show something really cool. But I'll answer your question, though, Adam, while Dion's away for a moment. Nick is at a family event, so everything's cool. Nothing wrong there. It's nice when you can say, hey, my friend can't make the show, but it's for good reason, so don't worry. Normally it's like, oh, this person couldn't make the show. It's blah, blah, blah. We're thinking about
Moen celebration.
Yeah. Nick is
sitting around a campfire, dipping a turkey leg in mayonnaise.
Do you think they've ever made like an emulsion blend of mayonnaise and pineapple juice?
I would think so.
Yeah, it's not the worst condiment. I've been to Red Robin. It's like a weird what?
Chutney. They just take canned pineapple, throw it in a blender with some mayonnaise, sprinkle in some of that shaved coconut, and I guarantee you that's what he dips his turkey legs in.
Hey, a man who can cook is respectable. I can cook, so I guess I'm respectable.
I can cook.
You're a catch for any young lady.
I know, right? It's like fly paper.
Well, I mean, that's a way to put it.
Yeah. So before we move on to our next segment, Dion, I wanted to share something really cool that you don't know about yet.
Oh shit! This better be.
Oh, I know. Kendo knows. Nick knows a little bit, but this is a big announcement. This is fun. Hell, even Salvador knows, but you don't get to know yet because the surprise is just for you. So with Dion, I was thinking about our friendship the other day and all the stuff we'd always planned and talked about doing, and how years ago we talked about Future Pop and how World Class Bullshitters is literally everything we planned a decade ago back in the apartment. And we always talked about how we wanted to do all these big things, and comics were always a part of them. And so the comic happened, but because of the story, you were kind of pushed to the end. And I always remembered that. So I thought, how can I make it up to my friend who's not even mad at me? How can I do something extra awesome, extra special for my buddy to make it up for him, even though he's not upset? Okay. So the new back cover is us as 90s Power of the Force action figures. And we're based on comic costumes from Stealing Solo, the book. But Dion has one outfit in the story, and I thought, Dion in a red t-shirt and jeans isn't cool. But what can I do to make Dion extra cool? What can I do to make Dion stand out extra? So normally I would be setting you up for a big joke, but Dion, I made you into my favorite person. I made you The Rock. So what do you think? There's our action figure cover right there. That's our back. That's going to be the new action figure.
The fanny pack and everything. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
My only thing was I wanted the fade to be taller.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want it to go too tall for the parody's sake, but I thought, there you go, Dion. If you're going to be a part of this, and the joke is the 90s, what's more 90s than The Rock with his fanny pack? So,
son of a bitch.
There we go.
Absolutely fucking love it.
Ridiculous. Yeah, dude. I'm having too much fun with this. Let me share that. Folks, this is the back cover of the Fandom Menace edition, as well as the Day One edition of the book. You'll get this back cover with a painted cover by Anna, that Star Wars girl. There's the link, and I'm not just saying this because I'm involved. The cover is movie poster quality. It's painted by hand. It's beautiful. I drew the pencil. She did the paint. Awesome collaboration. Can't wait to share it with you guys. But there you go, Dion.
I really wish those could become real action figures.
Salvador's trying to help us out, dude. He's been ordering shit and trying to make us WCBS figures. He knows the formulas. He knows what parts to get. So,
dude, that is.
I need one of those 1/4 scales of me as the green tick. You know, the fucking green screen costume.
I love how that's your go-to. I'm the tick. Oh, Kendo, and your
well, that's what I got out of it. The first time you were sending me those pictures when you were putting it together, I'm like, why am I dressed like the green tick? And then the response was, you know what? Don't tell me. I want to find out when I read it.
Well, it just makes everything
every second that way. Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the biggest thing right now on TV, the show that I'm going to probably stay up to watch tonight because some reason, even though I'm not that in love with it yet, WandaVision. So last week, MCU, the fourth phase, started on Disney Plus with WandaVision. Now, guys, did you get an opportunity to check out WandaVision?
Did not. I was kind of scared, to be honest, to watch it.
I didn't either, but that's because I've already made my opinions on that show voiced out. I mean, it could be a great show, but to me, Wanda and Vision was like my least favorite part of Infinity War, so I have no real desire to watch a TV show about the two of them.
So you didn't really miss anything great. Now, folks, I'm not going to spend the next 10 minutes or 20 minutes or even 5 minutes ripping on this show. I don't like it, but it's... Hold on, let me just... Okay, he turned cool. I don't really like the show, but it's too early to say I hate the show and I'm done watching it. Because what it is it's a mystery. It's fucking J.J. Abrams mystery box bullshit. He really is the most prolific film creator of the last 30 years, and he fucking blows. Because his fingerprints are all over this shit. And it's not just this show. It's very much like Lost and all these other shows. I actually think the show is a lot like Twin Peaks, where it's weird for the sake of being weird, and people talk about it. It's a very water coolery show. And so not a lot has happened, and I think it'd be premature to sit and bitch about it for hours and hours and hours. But I will say it's underwhelming. The concept is cool. the execution is very well done. It looks and feels exactly what it's trying to be, but what it's trying to be at this point just doesn't feel right to me. Now, that being said, if the show keeps getting better and better and better, I'm going to be on board and I'm here to be excited. But as of now, these last 2 episodes, I gave it like a 7. That's super nice. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't compelling to keep watching. I didn't care about the mystery because the MCU's big story ended. If they would have had the balls to make you wait 5 years between Endgame and Infinity War, and they put out all these shows and these other things and these weird Marvel properties, then I'd be really involved because I wouldn't know how the story ends. But because I know how the story ends, and this is very underwhelming, I'm just not invested. It's like, are you excited for Captain America or the Winter Soldier and Bucky? Not anymore. Not after this one. Isn't it too early to say that? If this is how they're going to be, where it's just a bunch of nothing and it makes you wait for seasons and seasons, I don't know. I'm not happy. And WandaVision's only 1 season, so I will be reporting back regularly if it's worth a damn. But I just don't want to sit around and bitch about it. So let's see what you guys in the chat are saying. This has to come out before Endgame, says Brad. That's when I still cared about Marvel as much, so I'd be willing to buy anything. Freddie's never seen Twin Peaks. You should check it out, man. It's an interesting show. It's weird.
I've never watched Twin Peaks.
Ethan loves it. It was his show back in the day. It's on Hulu, Kendo, and I know you don't really do a lot of streaming, but ask Nick to send it to you. It's worth watching. It's fun. I like it. It's David Lynch, so it's weird, but let's see what people in the chat are saying. Will it be Wham and Vision? I will say, folks, the show's not woke. It's just fine. I mean, they play into all the 50s stereotypes and shit. If it was woke, they would call out how wrong those stereotypes are, but they don't. It's so bizarre. It's absurd. It's what it is. Let's see. DVRing BattleBots. Not a lot of people are into D-Day Jedi says, I'm super cautious about Phase 4. Black Widow movie is 2 phases too late. Yeah, I feel that way. Usually there's a lot of energy and excitement, but a lot of the people that are talking about WandaVision are we put out a video to talk about it, and it's such an odd topic for me, just like the show. So come back next week to see if episode 3 is decent. I'll have some content for it this week. So yeah, Phil Arconis, you got the right. Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it's not woke, just boring. So a little disappointment, or a little disappointing. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be disappointed than upset with some woke garbage.
Right. Boring is better than disaster.
Yeah. Now, Dion.
Yes.
Can a boring film be a disaster?
Oh yeah. It happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Especially if it's a boring disaster movie.
Well, would you consider Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League a boring disaster movie?
It's gonna be.
I would just call it a boring disaster.
It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. Because it's just gonna be ridiculous. Like, just it's just constant bullshit with this dude.
And that's cool. If you're involved or invested, good for you. We all thought Justice League was just a fine movie. We really took flack for it when it first came out. Everyone was like, why didn't you rip on it?
It subverted our expectations.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder did it better than Ryan Johnson, but is that surprising?
I mean,
no.
I don't know how much of an accomplishment that is. I mean,
no,
just because your turd is less smelly than the other dude doesn't mean that you won anything,
Yeah, it's like being the nicest guy in prison. It's not really an award.
Right.
So the reason I brought this up is they've announced that it's going to be a 4-hour film. It used to be, they were saying it was going to be 4 1-hour episodes. It was going to be this. It was going to be that. Now it's a 4-hour film. So a 4-hour film version of the Snyder Cut makes me feel better. I know that sounds weird, but my biggest issue with the Snyder Cut was always, outside of why, because it doesn't matter. It's over. They're rebooting essentially. But the thing I always was worried about was how it was going to be broken up. I know a 4-hour film is hard to watch, and I don't want to commit to a 4-hour film. But if I do want to watch it, I would much rather watch it in one sitting. Even with Lord of the Rings, even though I've sat through it once, I didn't like when you had to switch discs. So I hate breaking up a film. I'm glad I didn't grow up in the fucking laserdisc household. We were all videotapes because we could afford. But I don't like the idea of flipping a disc or switching a disc or any of that crap. And so a streaming only film like the Snyder Cut, all one big go, is a positive for me. But I can understand why it would be a detriment to others because it's a time hole. Watching Star Wars at times feels like a chore because it's 2+ hours, and it gets 3+ hours. You get to the shitty ones, and then it's not worth it. But the Snyder Cut is officially the longest comic book film ever at 4 hours. Would you guys like to guess the other 3 films on the list? And would you be surprised? Well, I won't even tell you that part because it might give you a hint. So, Kendo, outside of Justice League, the Snyder Cut, what are the 3 other longest superhero films?
I'm going to go with The Watchmen because isn't that one like 3.5 hours long or something like that?
Okay.
And then superhero movies, other ones that are that long. I'm going to go with The Amazing Spider-Man 2 because I watched that one time and it felt like it took 6 fucking days.
Then what's your next guess?
Endgame.
Endgame? Okay. Now, Dion, what is your guess for the longest superhero or comic book films?
Endgame for sure, and then I was gonna say Man of Steel, and then I came up with I couldn't get past Watchmen either. So,
well, I'm glad you both picked Watchmen and Avengers Endgame because that's part of the list. But the film that you guys didn't guess was Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition. So on the list of the 4 longest superhero films, 3 of those 4 come from Zack Snyder. Would you argue that Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition and the Watchmen Extended Cut are good films?
One more time, I want to make sure I hear this question before I give an answer.
Watchmen, the Extended Cut, and Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition, would you consider those good films?
Watchmen, yeah. Not Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah. No, Batman vs. Superman was terrible. Watchmen was okay.
Well, my point is, Zack Snyder has done these extended cuts 2 times before. I know this one's different, but Watchmen to the director's cut of Watchmen and BVS and whatever theatrical BVS versus extended cut, which I do own on Blu-ray, they're not enough for me to change my stance on the film. So what I was trying to get at in a roundabout way is I'm going to guess that I will feel the same way about the Snyder Cut as I do the actual film Justice League. It's cool. It's fine. It's just okay. I don't really have a strong opinion of it. I've seen better DC work on the animation front for decades, so that's why I hold the DC standard so much higher than I would even Marvel at some points, because DC has been doing this consistently great for such a long period in animation. 30 years plus. So close to 30 years, excuse me. Batman the Animated Series might be coming back, and that could add to it. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think you'll like the Snyder Cut more or less, Dion?
More than Watchmen?
No, just more than the original cut of Justice League.
No, because I think if anyone's answer is the easiest to see coming, it's mine. No, because the more you give Zack Snyder, the more he is going to fuck it up. That's like asking if gravity is just going to stop working one day. And again, I think that's part of the con, right? The part of his con was Watchmen was good. Part of his con was 300 was at least enjoyable, even though it was ridiculous, But the minute he got the keys to the big boy kingdom, he couldn't deliver the goods. Whatever the reason, and there are a lot of people who want to defend him, and people wanted him to be Chris Nolan so bad. But again, his take on Superman sucked. His take on the Dark Knight Returns, because I refuse to call it Batman vs. Superman, fucking sucked. And clearly his take on Justice League, I mean, it wasn't bad, but he had to leave and someone else finished the fucking movie. He is not going to fucking all of a sudden come through. What more free reign could he have? He had all the free reign in the world because Watchmen was so damn good. And he fucked it up. Plain and simple. He doesn't know what he's doing with these characters. Leave it to, anti-heroes and characters that can, actually kill and maim and do all this shit. He's fine with that. But he has no idea what to do with the Justice League. Plain and simple. And even though he's gonna get an additional $70 million to apparently make a completely fucking different movie, that's not proof that he is so good. It's proof that when you give him everything, he doesn't have the fucking goods, Grandma. He just doesn't have what it takes. And it's not going to change because it's 4 hours long. He now has 2.5 extra hours to tell even more shitty stories about more shit you don't fucking care about. In his mind, he thinks, oh, well, I'm just going to talk about Darkseid. I'm going to show some more bullshit. Maybe I'll have the bad guys, kill a couple women and children to really drive the point home that they're bad. And then boom, my movie's going to be loved. And it's no, you didn't know what you were doing in the first place. What more could he need? They gave him the whole fucking DC universe. This fantasy that people have that it's going to be better simply because he has even more free reign is fucking ridiculous.
Well, AJ Journer makes an interesting point. He's being tongue-in-cheek when he's
family.
Anyway, he says Zach clearly has some issues. It seems like a lot of his movies are dreary and joyless. Maybe not the Al movie. I would like for Zack Snyder to just pep it up a little bit because we're out of the grim dark era. Like, we get it, Warner Brothers. You wanted to chase that Dark Knight high, but we're like 10 phases past that. Not even phases, because that's Marvel talk. We're 10 stages past that shit. It was fine. It worked. Like, I get it. You go where the money goes. But we're about to enter this era where actually both Marvel and DC are very guilty of this. There's no such thing anymore as a unified vision for a character. Marvel's been guilty of this for a good chunk of actually all of the MCU's existence, because I don't know who said it, but one of the greatest things that Marvel missed on was tying comics with the MCU. Instead of ditching comic books and making the MCU appeal to just whatever, you don't have to change the films. You can have the same marketing, you can have the same appeal, you can have the same approach, but it wouldn't hurt if every movie said Ant-Man appears monthly in Marvel Comics. This character appears monthly in Marvel Comics, just like the old DC ones did. And then Marvel created a line. They can make all these other fucking stupid lines like Spider-Verse. And believe me, I read the Spider-Verse comics. It's much different than the movies. Or you can go into all these other timelines and all these other, not 616, it's this one, it's that one. You could have just created a world that was based off the movies, find some kind of rights deals or whatever, or just don't make them look like the actors, but keep the stories ongoing and make people come to your comic books and make it feel like it's a part of the cycle of whatever the MCU is. It's movies, it's TV, it's video games, it's this. It's family. You forgot to put the comic book in the circle, because if you put the comic book in the circle, it becomes just as vital as other elements. It doesn't become just a part of useless advertising and marketing and merchandise. It's another part. It gets treated like when you go see the movie. Oh, you got to read the Harry Potter book before you see the movie. Well, read the Marvel comic before you see the Marvel movie. Make it urgent. That was one of those chances where they had that. But now they could have had this unified vision. DC does that too, where now you have Ben Affleck still plays Batman. Robert Pattinson, sadly, is playing Batman. Michael Keaton is thankfully back as Batman. Then you're going to have Batman the Animated Series back. There's like so many different versions of Batman, and they're going to be so jarring for people, because if you go in and you go, I like Batman, I want to watch everything, but I don't know a lot about the character. If you don't know alternate versions, other takes, this, that, and the other, you're not going to get, it might not make sense. Say what you will about Superman. Maybe you could say this is a detriment to his character, but it's pretty on brand. He's pretty on brand up until the late 2000s. That's when it starts to try to make Superman a little younger, the New 52, all of those things. But he was consistent for decades, and you knew what you got with Superman. And I think that's why the character really appealed for as long as he did. Even today, when people say, well, who reads a Superman comic? He's boring. He appeals to somebody. He's on the charts. We know he's selling. And it's because he's consistent across the board. I'll even give Henry Cavill credit for when Zack Snyder's not trying to make, Superman watch his father die and bullshit. He brings a good sense of optimism to the character, which I like. And I just want DC to figure out what they're doing and just stay the path, because every 5 years you can't really reset. And then you can't come back and say, you have $70 million to finish this movie and touch this and do that. it would be nice if across the board, all these studios that own our favorite IPs just planned it out. That's all we're asking. It's not, oh, you need to kiss my ass and do this and do that. It'd be nice, but just have a plan, because I'll respect you even if I don't like it, if you follow it all the way through. I would much rather have that than have, I don't know, some spineless director switch the course of their trilogy because, spoiler alert, it sucked the whole time. So on the screen, we have Darkseid right here, looking pretty cool, but kind of looking like Thanos. What do you guys think of this design for Darkseid from the Justice League film?
It looks like Thanos. I glanced up at that and I'm like, why is there a Thanos on that T-shirt that says Darkseid?
No, we'll find out more. The best part, folks, is if you think Dark Fate is funny to troll Dion with, just wait till the Snyder Cut comes out, because that's going to be even longer. And guess what? We're going to watch it for the channel, which means Dion can suffer for 4 hours.
God, I don't know if I can fucking do it.
We need to do it. Like I said, if we ever get into a room together again, we need to make it happen then. So that way we can sit him down and force him to stay in that chair.
Well, I'm glad you said, you were talking about optimism and hope, as our view count is at 666. So I think the odds are...
Hey, all right.
So speaking of the audience, let's see what you guys are saying. So our friend Dean Domino says, more music suggestions: Persona 5 soundtrack, Rivers at the Desert, Last Surprise, Whims of Fate, Beneath the Mask, Wake Up, Get Up. Well, Dean, like I always tell you, I'm going to take a picture of that so I can maybe check those out. Maybe add them to my list. What I do now is I have YouTube music. They should give it to me for free, but they don't. But I have YouTube music, and what I do is I just add to the playlist all kinds of stuff. Even if I don't listen to it yet, I'll go in and check it out. So a screenshot, and I'll check it out, man. Liquor Jim says The Sting. Now, do you mean like the film The Sting with Robert Redford, or do you mean like the wrestler, or just a sting operation?
The Stinger.
I was say he didn't go by The Sting in the wrestling, but he could have.
The room takes place in more than just that one room, so
that's true. That's true. It happens in many rooms,
and a park, and a rooftop.
Yeah, and none of it was cheap.
Oh God, $8 million or whatever the fucking movie costs.
Yes, six.
Yeah, that movie. God, adjusted for inflation, that movie costs more than Star Wars, right?
Probably.
TLJ Screwjob, Breadman Productions says Lethal Weapon series watch along when? Yeah, guys, when?
I mean,
when are we gonna get off our fucking asses and watch that movie series? I need to watch that soon, dude. I love all 4 of them.
Yes.
Yeah, at any point.
Diane would have to watch it too, because we are obsessed with those fucking movies.
I could have sworn we had done one of them or 2 of them already. So I feel like we've watched at least Lethal Weapon 2 together.
I thought we watched just one. I thought it was only the first one that we watched. Maybe it was
Possibly.
1 and 2.
Because I remember us doing 2 because I remember us watching it because we were making fun of the South Africans. And
because we definitely watched Lethal Weapon 2 because that's the best one. I'm a cop. Oh God. Well, yes, we'll do all of them. We should start early. I'll get up early and we'll start drinking, and we'll do Last Man Standing rules. Can you make it through all the Lethal Weapons?
Oh, that's my childhood, is watching all 4 of them in a day, baby. That's no problem.
I mean,
also,
we can do that.
When we're in person, the first thing we do when we're all together in Michigan is we should have a couple drinks and watch Lethal Weapon 2 or 3 or 4. I don't care. All of them. Fuck it.
I mean, I could watch any of them. I mean, 2 is very high up there.
2 is my personal favorite. It's a top 10 action film for me.
I'm with you, dude. I know how much you love the whole established relationships and sequels, man. I get it. It's awesome. Makes sense.
I too love spaghetti redneck trekker. So, folks,
Good shit.
We'll be talking about that sad image on your screen in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. TLJ Screwjob says Kendo's right. Also, Don Bluth, not Disney. What animation were we talking about that I called Disney? Yeah, Don Bluth. I know he worked at Disney, and he definitely went off and did his own thing. I don't have a favorite Don Bluth animation, though. Space Ace, the video game? No, Dragon's Lair. That's a cool game. Folks in the chat, tell me your favorite Don Bluth animation. Kendall Rock, thank you very much. He says, young man leaves home with old man.
Star Wars?
Up.
That was. It's either Star Wars or Up. Those are my 2 guesses. I'm trying to think if there's another film where an old man leaves his home. A young man leaves his home with an old man.
I mean, there's the Old Man in the Sea, but I doubt very many people have watched that movie.
What's that Harrison Ford movie with the dog? We can replace young man with dog, and they leave home with old man. So,
Oh, that one that just came out recently, the one where he's like a dog sledder. I can't remember what that's called, but Call of Wild.
Yeah. Wild Katarn was letting us know about Anastasia. Okay, Don Bluth, not Disney. I just remember it was released from Fox because my grandma took me to see that movie as a kid. She bought it for me on tape too.
It's just that's just such a that fucking Anastasia. Obviously, it's not Disney. I keep forgetting, but that and not my sneeze, but The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Those are the two like fucking like those movies really shouldn't be animated children's movies. Like I never, even as a kid, I was like, holy fuck. I remember, obviously Anastasia, but recently Hillary and I sat and watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the beginning of that is so fucked up. Like I was like, what is this?
It is a weird movie, and while it's a weird movie, I'm glad that there was an era where you could put that kind of stuff in all ages entertainment.
For sure. For sure.
Even though I don't like that film, I like it less that we now live in the world where everything is so stupid and sanitized because they can't have it be offensive. And the scary part is it's offensive to make a kid think or to make these families to challenge their ideas. We're not asking you to watch, that hallway scene from Willy Wonka on repeat. We get it. It's scary. But that scene being in the movie also adds to the element, the wonder, the magic. All the greats, all of them have moments of scary. Star Wars has scary moments. Willy Wonka, The Wizard of Oz, all these iconic movies. Indiana Jones, which really isn't a kid's movie at all, but it's just a general all-ages movie. That movie's got scary moments. All of them. It's part of the hallmark of all those films. And I miss that being a part of everything. We've gone one way, and it's, in my opinion, not the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. And fuck you, coffee downs. That was a man sneeze. But listen, and that's 100% true. It's just watching Quasimodo's mom get fucking Spartan kicked in the face and she dies because she fucking hits her head on the stairs. I was like, and then he goes to throw him in the well. I was like, holy shit. Whoa. What? I am in the left of a field somewhere. Holy shit. Dark as fuck.
Shit, maybe I should have watched that movie.
Yeah.
He's like,
right in my alley.
Hold on, let me put this on screen. This is fucking hilarious. This one comes from Qui-Gon. Barbed Wire wasn't a kid's movie. Realized too late.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie. But,
I mean, it definitely help you bring in the manhood a little bit faster than you anticipated, depending on the age you watch it at.
I watched it when I was like 13 or 14, the part where she flashes her bush. I'm just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched. Yep. Not realizing it was a terrible fucking movie.
It's
funny how those things cover up bad movies, right? Our movie sucks. More tits. Like you forget all about it as a kid. You're like, holy shit.
Boobs and bush. I probably went to school the next day. I was like, oh my God, I watched this movie last night with Pamela Anderson, Barbed Wire. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. As an adult, I think I watched it like for 10 minutes one day. I was like, this is awful. I'm just going to go look up her pictures.
The power of the internet.
It's the safest way you can consume her without getting hepatitis. So
that's right.
Barney the Nuclear Source Weeks says Bill Burr's white guilt comedy routine predicted Hidden Figures. I need to go back and watch everything Bill Burr's ever done just because. Oh, also, amazing. Barbed Wire features Tamara Morrison, aka Jango Fett, and Boba Fett. I had no clue.
That is awesome, and I feel bad that he took that paycheck.
Hey, Bill's got to get paid somehow. Sometimes different ways. Not the particular way you prefer with Pam Anderson's Bush, but sometimes got to cash the checks.
Well, it was the 90s. It was a big deal back then.
It was a better time.
Phil Arconis, thank you very much. He says, not going to do the obvious movie for me. So, one man eats lasagna on a planet that doesn't on a plane that doesn't crash. One man eats lasagna on a plane that doesn't crash.
Garfield.
The only regret Bill Murray ever had.
Probably.
I feel like you reading it again just confused me any fucking more. A guy who eats lasagna on a plane that doesn't crash.
There's a lot of movies about planes that don't crash.
Dion,
Panic Room.
Why would you pick? I was going to say, Panic Room not only doesn't feature...
you know what I meant. The other one with Jodie, Red Eye, right? That'd be
with Rachel McAdams?
Sure.
That was a good movie, dude.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Does a dude that's killing people eat lasagna while he's on the plane?
Nobody has lasagna on the plane that I remember. This one
Alive.
stumped a lot. Wait, that crashes though.
Yeah, and I don't think there was any lasagna, so we'll go with Sully.
Snakes on a plane.
I'm gonna go with Passenger 50, whatever, with Wesley Snipes. The passenger.
Denzel Washington.
No, that was a different movie.
We just watched that the other night. Passenger 57. Always bet on black.
Yeah. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, thank you very much. He says, I like seeing Bernie Sanders on the Iron Throne of Game of Thrones. Plus, I saw a meme of him in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air opening air.
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
Send that my way.
Oh, I can find it.
People in the chat are saying the Langoliers for the film.
I mean, someone said U.S. Marshals. The movie starts with the plane crashing, so I think that's automatically out of the woods.
Well, maybe it's a different plane. Maybe they weren't eating lasagna on that plane. Maybe they were eating lasagna on a different plane, and that one didn't crash.
Right. Which also, which obviously I'm sure that Fighting Words knows, but Robert Downey Jr. was in U.S. Marshals.
Was he really?
Yeah, I think that was like during the height of his addiction too.
Hang on a second. There's a legitimate question here in the chat. Who gets lasagna on a plane? That is a good question because I've flown on many a plane and lasagna was never offered.
Same. No Italian food's ever been offered to me on an airplane.
No, you either get chicken or beef.
Loses. It crashes at the end of the movie.
Well, you want chicken or chicken?
Yeah.
You want chicken or freedom?
I love Con Air. It's a
great.
I can't even call it a guilty pleasure movie. I just like it. I'm not gonna.
I'm not ashamed of loving that fucking movie. It's everyone and everything in that movie is great. Even what's his name from Say Anything. I mean, even he's awesome in that movie.
Oh, John Cusack.
Yeah, John Cusack of the Cusack twins.
I'm so glad that Say Anything is what you used to describe John Cusack of his, the breadth of films he's been in, from Hot Tub Time Machine to 1408 to
High Fidelity.
All those movies.
That's just extra steps. If I just say Anything, everyone's like, that might not be right, but I know who he's talking about.
I feel like if you said Hot Tub Time Machine or High Fidelity, they'd know who you were talking about.
They would, but it'd take a minute. Say Anything is instantaneous. You're like, oh, John Cusack.
I think you could just say John Cusack and not name a film.
I mean, obviously, but we're not playing this game to play the easy way out, dude. We're doing this the hard way, damn it.
Folks, if you'd like to drop in the chat your favorite John Cusack movie and one that's way more high profile than Say Anything, feel free.
Better Off Dead. Colex81. Colex asks, "You're still taking anime suggestions? I nominate Ghost Stories from 2000. The English dub is one of the best, or is the best version. The VAs hilariously ignored the script." The voiceover artist. Okay, well, you have my attention now, because anyone that can recommend me hilariously bad dubbed entertainment, it doesn't have to be anime. It could be video games like Mega Man 7, X7, right? You have to get to the something Mega Man. That guy's voice is terrible. I love it. Anime, dubs, anything. If it's got shitty voice work, send it my way. I'm always down to laugh.
Are we talking like original Resident Evil release bad?
Yes, like that kind of. Dude, I don't get it. Because there have always been voice actors and there's been animation. How did the people not know how to voice a video game? Like, why wouldn't you just look at it as an animation?
Well, so many have. Well, I think it was specifically Resident Evil. They were trying to save money, so a lot of the times that shit happens when they're cutting corners. Which, obviously everyone knows how we feel about cutting corners on this channel, but the majority of the time that you have an infamous example of bad voice acting, I'm willing to bet 9 times out of fucking 10 it's because the studios either ran out of money or they're cutting corners to save fucking money, and it fucking never works, dude. Never.
Hold on real quick. Now I'm just curious.
You just look up bad
voiceover
movies?
We'll do one. Because I don't want to go. Look, this is a very dangerous rabbit hole we're about to go down. Just for a quick moment.
For many a reason.
I don't
love those rabbit holes.
You brought up Resident Evil voice acting. Just for a moment, let's listen to a little bit of it together. Dion, you ready? Kendo, you ready?
Hit me.
Oh yeah.
Wow, what a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
She's like 6 feet away from it.
She's looking at you, dummy.
Stop it! Don't go. I love this shit.
Oh god, so fucking good, dude.
But we haven't. It was
You
like
almost became a Jill sandwich.
But I'm just so perplexed by how people couldn't figure out how to voice act for video games and anime. It's like you understand how to voice act for like Warner Brothers cartoons or Hanna-Barbera cartoons, so why the Japanese one's so weird? And you understand how to voice for regular cartoons like Bugs Bunny and shit. Why can't you voice a video game that way? The disconnect was so bizarre, but I'm happy it exists because we get this. And I don't care if it's hilariously bad now. It's hilarious, and that's all that matters.
It's so good, dude. Mr. Tickle Trunk brought up another great one. Fucking Castlevania Symphony of the Night. What is a man? But a sibling full of lies or whatever. Oh my god, that shit is so good.
When you did that, you reminded me of Cyrus from the Warriors. Our turf, our pitiful turf.
Can you count, suckers?
The future is ours if you can count. Dion, next time if we're ever seeing each other across from an airport, I just want you to throw your arms up and go, "Can you dig it?" and see if everyone just looks at you.
That's for sure. Probably the first thing. The second thing would have to be the thing that I've been really on board with is, can I get a oh yeah?
What?
I'm definitely doing Can You Dig It to get your attention, but also just be prepared if you just hear someone scream, can I get a oh yeah? That's also me.
The fact that you screamed, is that fucking Foley in here at Star Wars Celebration to a bar full of people, and I instantly went, Dion's here!
There's no way I wasn't going to do that. There's no way I wasn't going to do that. And I forgot that I did until Kendo had brought it up. But yeah, that was totally...
Shit, I was in the bathroom and I was like, oh shit, Dion's here.
Yeah, listen, I don't give a damn if I'm late because of a fucking flat tire. I'm gonna make a goddamn entrance to make up for me being late. Goddamn it!
And you did. You did a great job. So, folks, we talk about remakes, reboots, sequels, prequels, and stuff every week because entertainment is always Hollywood's always releasing them. That's what they want to make. They want to take something recognizable, find out a way to remake it, get you to spend money because you liked something you grew up with. That's the model right now. And it's bullshit and it sucks. We have experienced a terrible Willy Wonka film, aka Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton reimagining of the book. Can't really call it a remake of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because when you adapt a book, to me, each subsequent adaptation is coming from the source material. Therefore, I don't call it a remake just yet. But in the case of this film that we're about to talk about, there's rumors of a Willy Wonka prequel.
Ugh.
Now, people aren't happy about this news, which is nice because there are certain hallmarks in cinema that Hollywood knows not to fuck with. Willy Wonka seemed to be one of those. After they made that huge mistake many years ago, they understand this is one of those films that's not just seen by people as a quality film they enjoy. It's got the emotional attachment wrapped up into it. There's one of those films that you really can't ever get
what?
Kid.
Am I the only one that got kicked from there? Oh, okay, cool. I was about to be like, I'm scared to say that because I might be the only one that got muted here. It's the only one that.
I just always assume it's me that got cut out just because of history and connection issues.
Well, but usually it is, but Jeff's been getting just fucking lambasted, man, with the fucking connection.
So anyway, I think what Jeff was about to say was that certain movies you should just leave be and you shouldn't mess with it and try to extrapolate stories out of it or remake them or do anything like that. And Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of them.
Well, yeah, and I can't remember. Is it Warner Brothers that did Willy Wonka? But some studios learn faster than others, and obviously, that was a case of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory did so poorly that it that's one of those movies where it does so bad and gets murdered by so many people that motherfuckers lose their jobs. And obviously, Tim Burton Damn, yeah, he dropped off. Hopefully he'll have the article when he gets back. But yeah, I mean that one was so bad that it changed the fate of that whole franchise. So yeah, man, that whenever that happens, it is fucking hilarious. When it bombs so fucking hard that it changes the fucking game, man. Oh, that was so good.
Right. Because I mean, I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's I wouldn't call it one of my favorite movies, but it's one that whenever it comes on, I'm gonna watch it. But when I saw the advertisements in the lead up for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the remake thing, I'm just like, whichever one is the remake, is it Willy Wonka or is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the original? And then
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the original. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the remake with Johnny Depp. Yep.
Either way, the ads for that, I'm like, I am not interested in this movie at all, and I have never watched it just because every time I saw a trailer for it or anything to do with that movie, I'm just like, there's no way in hell I'm going to enjoy this movie because it looks terrible compared to the original.
It looked really bad, and that's another interesting like jump off of universe jumping, right? Because that one was like very clearly made for like Johnny Depp fans who are girls. Because I haven't watched it either. Because again, it looked terrible. But it was like it was all Johnny Depp, and then it was all the weird Tim Burton-esque shit, but it was still somehow kidified. Like that one was very clear. Like we're gonna try and get Johnny Depp's dumb teenage fans to watch this movie, and it was just hilariously bad. So bad that obviously Tim Burton didn't learn from his mistake because then he did the whole Alice in Wonderland movies. But that one was so like that. There was no way that anyone thought that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was going to get like fans, like actual movie fans. It just looked so fucking bad. Like I thought it was a fucking joke. Like, oh, this is a little video that Johnny Depp's gonna do. Like, no, this is a movie. I was like, well, someone's gonna fucking lose their job over this shit.
I will say one thing that I've learned to appreciate over the years because of the internet is how Grandpa Joe is a massive piece of shit. I never thought of that as a kid. Growing up, I'd see that, and I'm like, the poor guy's is in bed, and that's terrible. But now he's going to go on an adventure with Charlie. And I don't know if it's because I was close with my grandfather, so I always thought it'd be fun to go on adventures with him too. I'm guessing a chocolate factory at the time, but and then I got older, and I'm just like, wow. The internet has proven to me and showed me the truth. Grandpa Joe's a piece of shit.
Fucking Grandpa Joe, man. Oh, my kid's got essentially a fucking lottery ticket. I can walk now, motherfuckers. Like, bitch, you could have been delivering newspapers, so my mama isn't working so goddamn hard. But then again, musicals, especially from back then, weren't exactly the best in terms of story.
Yeah. Well, and then he almost costs him the prize when he goes and fucking drinks that soda and they float up and get chopped up by the fan.
Yeah. He's screwed up for everybody, that fucking asshole.
It'd be so funny if you just have Charlie go off on him. You almost fucked me, Grandpa. You almost fucked it up for the rest of us. You're done, old man. You're fucking done.
Thanks a lot, Grandpa. Oh, you want to spend all your time in a bed? Have fun now after I fucking hobble you, motherfucker. And he just pipes him in the knee.
Well, this movie is looking like it's going to be one of the biggest failures ever because nobody wants to know about Willy Wonka's origin. No, you don't care about why he is what he is. It's that he's crazy and zany and wacky. In a film like this, people are so tied to Gene Wilder. Look, the first Willy Wonka movie was not that big of a hit, but it came out and people have gravitated towards it for over 40 years. People, it's one of those movies like A Christmas Story where years and years and years and years of it being played on TV has made it become just a part of everyone's life.
Or It's a Wonderful Life.
That's a movie I can only do once a year.
Yeah.
But Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a couple times a year. All I wanted to get at, though, is this movie is a bad idea, and Warner Brothers, whatever you think you're going to throw at it money-wise, come on. This is just a really weird, a weird choice. A dumb choice, too. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get off the ground. I think they're going to still be really gun-shy. Because, again, in his last few movies, Tim Burton has this really strange superpower of fucking up a movie franchise, and I just, even if you got Tom Holland, the kid from Dune and It, and whoever the fuck you have trying to be Willy Wonka, that's a undertaking where you cannot miss. That's like aiming at the king, bro. You cannot take your shot and fucking miss, because if you miss, motherfuckers are losing their fucking jobs, and I don't see, I don't see any director signing on to do Willy Wonka because you fuck that movie up. It could be the last major opportunity you get to make a film. So I'd be amazed if that movie comes out. No Time to Die is gonna come out before that fucking movie gets made.
Right. What they really need to start doing is whenever they go to like remake these movies or do something different or pull a story out of a franchise, they need to get like a room full of people, like 100 people in the room, and sit them down and be like, all right, so you've got a little clicker in front of you. If the answer to this question is yes, go ahead and push that button. When you've watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, have you ever wondered where did Willy Wonka come from and what was he like before he got the Chocolate Factory? And then you'll see like 4 buttons get clicked, and it's like 4 out of 100 people want to see this. We shouldn't make this movie.
Well, even then, just go off of fucking history. They made the Pan movie where it's supposed to be the origin of Captain Hook, and it did fucking terrible. And that had Hugh fucking Jackman as Blackbeard in it. Like no one fucking wants these. I mean, it's not. I mean, and you can say what you want to say about. Well, if it's the right director, like no, like some characters we don't need to see that shit. We don't. That's not interesting. If it's okay to have a one-off story, and sometimes it's okay to have a reimagining years later. But this idea that every major pop culturally relevant character needs a fucking origin story is just ridiculous. Like no one wants that shit. I'm sorry. Like, especially old characters like Willy Wonka. Well, even though, he's not as old as Peter Pan and Captain Hook, but Willy Wonka, Peter Pan, no one is asked for this shit because they're already great. You can't tell more relevant stories when the one we have is just so timeless. No one wants to hear a fucking Mary Poppins origin story. Nope. That no one wants that shit. It's too classical. Fucking we don't want a goddamn we don't want an origin story major movie for the Wicked Witch of the West. We got fucking Wicked is a fucking musical. That's fine. Don't make a movie out of it. Don't turn that into a movie. It's just not going to work. People who aren't all this, if they weren't asking for that before, they're not going to all of a sudden be like, you know what, you're right. I do want to know where Willy Wonka got the money to make a fucking chocolate factory in a city and create fucking crazy backstories for the midgets he got out of the circus. I don't need to know that shit. It's not interesting.
He won it in a card game with Lando.
Oh, God.
And then he crashed it.
Jesus.
How do you crash a chocolate factory? Watch the prequel and find out, folks.
That's right.
Qui-Gon sends in an amazing super chat that says, did anyone catch The Undertaker on the Joe Rogan podcast? Cool stuff, but this is why it's great. Also, if you guys were the Dudleys, could you ask Dion to get the Dark Fate DVD? Are you ready, Dion? Dion!
Was up to that.
Get the Dark Fate DVD! Come on, follow it up with just once for the audience.
Not to that one. Not to that one, you son of
All right.
a bitch.
Fine, Dion, get the table.
What's that?
Now I can just
I have not listened to that Rogan yet, but it did pop up in my feed, and it is set to my watch later because I am curious as to what he has to say. And yes, I have slapped Dion on the chest before and told him to get the tables.
Yes. The bond is true. The bond is right. But also
that has happened.
Yes, you have. It's been awesome. But
Dion, get the table.
What's that? And listen, it popped up in my YouTube feed. I just am interested to listen to it because he has been running from having Mick Foley and Chris Jericho on his podcast, and he's slowly come back around to respecting professional wrestling. So I'm going to be very interested to see on what he asks The Undertaker, what The Undertaker talks about, because that's another name in wrestling where you're not going to get away with saying that shit is fake. So because he years and years ago, Mick Foley and him had a little interaction on Twitter after they were shitting on pro wrestling. He's like, yo, have me on your show. If you want to have someone tell you about it, I'll go on your show gladly. And Joe Rogan said, anytime, brother, and it never happened. And he's been running from having a legendary pro wrestler on his show for years. So I am super fucking interested to see it.
I bet Teddy Long had something to do with this. I bet he booked it. He told Rogan, you gotta have him on the podcast, or you're going one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Playa.
I'll let you hear me.
So this list on screen, I'm going to be talking about it in just a moment because it's a good transition to something I really wanted to talk about tonight. We like to talk about hilarious things, and I found something hilariously bad that has become my favorite side project, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So Liquor Jim did let us know, guys, that The Fifth Element, Jeff and Dion did get it. So thank you, Liquor Jim, for playing along with us tonight. Thank you for all the postcards.
Class, goddammit.
Our friend Paul Otis says, what would you guys say to the guy that told me that Ryan Johnson and Neil Druckmann are geniuses?
I'd just laugh at him and walk away.
Yeah, and trust me, when you kiss another woman that isn't your mom, you'll understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
I would ask you, Paul, to step away and never talk to those people again.
Yeah, they're clearly not intelligent.
They also don't have your best interest at heart, Paul. If they're willing to say such lies and stupid shit to you, feed you full of garbage, well, stay away from that, man. Adam Wofford said.
Geniuses don't come up with green fucking milk. That's just...
Nope.
You don't. That's not a genius move. You know, a genius move is, I know what you did, Fredo, you broke my heart. A genius move is... You know, I'm scared, Michael. I'm scared, Michael. A genius move, sure as shit, isn't the sacred text that we've never fucking heard of before.
Yeah. It's almost like Ryan Johnson's never seen how a real film gets made.
I know, it's pretty fucking crazy, isn't it?
But
he'll get a trilogy.
One day, right? Paul, one thing you can say to people that say Ryan Johnson is a genius, you can look him in the eye and go, everything that makes The Last Jedi great to you isn't from Ryan Johnson. Somebody else did that. Yeah. So that way you can always just throw it at their faces. Or into their face like that. Like, nope. Reject it. Let's see. Darth Fatass, thank you very much for... Oh, sorry. Adam Walford first says, here's an idea. How about Star Wars? The first three, but as a cyberpunk take on where Luke and Leia are fighting against the Imperial Corporation, but Sight and Shadowrun, where magic and elves exist. I don't dislike the idea, Adam, because I don't tend to like a lot of cyberpunk and neo-noir, like the cyberpunk stories, the stories themselves, but I like the world. And so when cyberpunk was real popular, that's really weird to say that the video game's not popular anymore, but whatever. But when cyberpunk was on everyone's minds, I was like, man, I really want to draw a comic in that kind of world. So while I don't necessarily want to see like a reimagined Star Wars movie, they do Star Wars by Shakespeare. So why not Star Wars by Philip K. Dick as a comic book? Could work. As long as you go, it's like Star Wars Infinites. Anyone that says, oh, it ruins canon. Star Wars Infinites is an alternate reality where it doesn't tie into the movies at all. Disney doesn't have many ideas, so fuck it. Why not? I mean, they remade the film Force Awakens, so they can do it. They can do it again.
It's true.
Our friend Darth Fatass, thank you very much for joining our Patreon. He says, it's not worth $75. Mine sparks a bit. Had to trim back the wick. I'm on a bit of a delay. So, Darth Fatass, even though it's not worth $75, how did you feel spending $75 in the beginning of it? Were you just like curious? Did you think, this is a risk I'm willing to take, a good gamble maybe? Or were you just like, fuck it, and then you regret it later? I don't know. I just want to know the thought process of a man that pays $75 for a poontang candle. Nisa-san says, the Snyder Cut smells like a Paltrow level extinction level event. Oof.
Yeah, dude. It's just
smells like something.
So bad. Can't wait to say, I told you so.
Oh, here's the Gwyneth Paltrow I told you so face, Dion. Sorry, folks, you don't get to look at those great Nintendo games. You get to look at this for the next moment. Jeff, why do you like to torture your audience? Because
it's funny.
Makes them stronger.
Stronger family. Let's see. Our friend Darth Fatass says, Professor skips office hours to find father. I think we might know this one, guys. Do we want to say it together?
I think we do.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, yeah. I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Edward Coleman says, if you guys really want to impress me, Last Man Standing, every Steven Seagal movie ever made, and obviously taking a drinking game out of it.
I don't know there's a human alive that can do every single one of them, especially the late 2000s ones.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm willing to chat with Nicolas Cage films.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, Nicolas Cage films. That wouldn't be too bad.
Well, I mean, if you got to go with a smile, so why not?
Yeah. I mean, even the bad ones, there's still some redeemable, entertainment to it. Like Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, or whatever it is. at least his weird accent and his crazy overacting will help get you through that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
You know, The Wicker Man, at least How to Get Burned will get you through that movie.
I don't know.
Can we just go back for 1 second and talk about the name of the film? The first film is Bad Lieutenant.
Yes.
And it's fine. It's a great title. It's a good movie. The second one, just the weirdest title ever. Title ever. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Just a weird, like, chunky title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
They couldn't call it Bad Lieutenant 2 or Bad Lieutenant New Orleans. It had to be Port of Call, New Orleans.
It doesn't even have a
support
comma, colon.
Yeah, you know, it's a port, dog. We don't need commas or colons. We got a port. That's a port of call in the city of New Orleans because it's on the Gulf. Don't you get it? Duh.
Well, that's the movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I love. When we get on TV, we need to get a Nicolas Cage lever like Conan O'Brien had the Walker Texas Ranger lever. It's just Nicolas Cage's face every time. We need to emphasize the crazy.
Absolutely. It's either got to be the I'm not a fucking retard, man, or quite possibly put the bunny down, or maybe even what else does he say in fucking Raising Arizona?
Oh God, it's been forever since I've seen that one.
I know. Ah, shit, I can't remember. And of course, it'll come to me randomly throughout the rest of the show. But yeah, we got to have a list of possible Cageisms for that lever, man. That's gonna be a great process.
007 Cloud has a very, very excellent point. Who says, "Boobs and Bush, Disney plus Lucasfilm, you will never have a bad movie again."
I mean,
yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think I could have tolerated The Force Awakens if it had a couple. Never mind, it's her. Never mind. Oof. 007 Cloud also says, "Ghost Stories English dub is purposefully bad. They have a lot of fun with it." Well, I know what I'll if it's on VRV or Crunchyroll, I have access to it still. So before I get rid of that service, I'll have to check out for Ghost Stories or look out for Ghost Stories because I want to laugh. Ben Parker says, "Jeff, the main character in the anime My Love Story reminded me of you and Jesse, superficially. It's on Hulu. Warning, sappy as fuck." Well, check it out, though, because sappy as fuck usually makes me laugh. So sometimes I can't believe this is real. So, guys, there's an image that I wanted to talk about on screen because there's a nice transition into something funny that I wanted to share with the audience. So let me get that image back up here. So, guys, questions obvious. You can only keep 3. I know, Dion, you don't have the same love as the N64, and I know we've talked about this briefly before, but it's all building to something bigger. So, Dion, while you look at this list for a moment, Kendo, I know you're a Nintendo guy. Answer the question, please.
So I can only keep 3 of these games, as in the rest never existed, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I got to take Ocarina of Time, obviously. I have to take 007 because GoldenEye gave us, really gave us first-person shooters as a thing. And give me Mario Kart 64 because it helped continue the Mario Kart franchise, which has been fantastic.
Dion, same question to you, sir.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to obviously start with No Mercy. I mean, just one of the greatest wrestling games. It holds up the best, especially in this post 2K20 world that we live in now. Obviously GoldenEye too, man. I mean, the multiplayer landscape would never have exploded the way it did without it. I guess to round out the third one I keep, I guess I'm gonna have to go with fucking I personally I love Banjo and Kazooie, so Banjo and Kazooie's got to be to round out the third one I keep. Man, that game is fucking fun as shit. That type of video game is always fucking fun as shit. Replayability is amazing. I gotta go with Banjo and Kazooie, man.
So my 3 are very similar to Kendo's, Zelda, GoldenEye, and No Mercy, just like Dion. Now, the reason I wanted to share this, folks, yes, I would love to hear your 3. Yes, I'd like to talk about the new Zelda footage they found. But I wanted to share something because there are independent creators out there who are making video games in the vein of some of these classics. And we brought up WWF No Mercy, and somebody, for some reason, has made a Nintendo 64 wrestling game for for the Nintendo Switch. And I just wanted to talk about it, not really to promote it yet. I wanted to talk about how fun it is because, folks, at the end of the day, a video game is meant to be entertaining and fun. And just because I laugh at this game every time I play it doesn't mean I'm not having a good time. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to show it to you. So, guys, would you like to just take a quick look at Wrestling Empire and why I can't stop playing it?
Damn Skippy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like this. I mean, this
man.
this is the game. Now, Dion, who is
Yes.
behind that wrestler Hollywood in the leather jacket? Who does that look just like?
That looks like Roddy Piper, man.
You think
Yeah.
it looks like Reddy? I think it looks just like Triple
Or
H.
Dean Ambrose.
You know, it's like Triple H.
It is supposed to be Triple H because
Not
this-
enough roids, buddy. Not enough
Dude.
roids.
there's not enough body types for the game. This is as buff as your characters can get. The Rock. But I wanted you to see, like, this game took Stephanie McMahon and Vince McMahon's faces and just, like, put them on these models. I love this game so much.
Oh my god.
And the Joe Rogan show. You get to go on the Joe Rogan show in it.
Oh my god, dude, Guyerson.
That's what I named my wrestler. Also,
That's so great.
Dude Guyerson died. Yes, you can die in this game in career mode. So I don't really want to plug it. I'm not here to promote it or talk about it anymore. I just wanted you to know that there's this game out there that looks like this. You can basically kill people in wrestling, and it's fun. It's so fun, folks. On the
Student
Nintendo.
night.
Don't judge them. They're doing their best. And dude, the beautiful part of that is one guy made that game. That is a one-man job. Everything.
That's so awesome.
So I fucking love this game. And folks, if you check it out, let me know. It doesn't have multiplayer, or else I'd love to say let's play it together on Twitch. But I will stream it on Twitch eventually, so just be on the lookout. Oh my god.
That's so fucking awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Now, Kendo, did you hear the news that there was a data leak of all this old Legend of Zelda stuff? They found some old ROMs of the game, like an old version of the game, and they were able to data mine it a little bit.
This is news to me. I would like to hear more.
Well, I will send it your way. But what it was essentially is for Ocarina of Time, they found a cartridge. What is the actual story? Okay. Let me just read you this. Zelda Ocarina of Time demo leak reveals Link could once turn into Navi, or Navi. An astonishing demo build for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time has turned up fresh details on an early version for Nintendo 64's masterpiece, such as Link being able to turn into his fairy Navi. The demo in question was found on an old N64 development cartridge used to hold Racer F-Zero X. On further inspection, files relating to a 1997 Zelda demo build were also found, partially saved over, but some very much still intact. Details have now been excitedly shared by Twitter Nintendo fans on Twitter. And hold on, the fucking cookie settings keeps popping up on me. So, Kendo, this is a big deal because it shows you how far along they were during the Space World 1997 presentation. And it's bizarre how, like, Link looks the same. The models of the weapons and stuff are all done. But, like, Kakariko Village is a whole nother city. It's a whole other map. It's like the overworld map is different. I don't think they showed boss fights or anything like that. But it's always fun for me. It's like seeing an alternate version of a film or an unfinished version. You know, you get to see the unfinished version of Ocarina of Time. Yes, it's this wonderful masterpiece. Yes, I love it, and I've sung its praises since 1998. But it's so neat to see what could have been. And, you know, hopefully one day this gets leaked online and I get to try it out or figure out a way to play it, because I would like to experience this quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, that sounds actually really fucking cool.
Now, Dion, is it true or not that you have a Legend of Zelda ringtone for your wife?
I do. Very particular.
Well, Dion, you might want to make this the wallpaper for her phone, because Link originally could turn into Navi. So there you go. Hey, look, listen.
That is so funny, and that's exactly what her ringtone is, and she fucking hates it, which means I'm gonna keep it for fucking ever, and it just fits her so perfect. You know, hey, listen, hey, listen. Every time she calls my phone, she fucking hates it, so I'm gonna make sure to share that with her. She'll be like, "Oh, fuck you."
And here you go, Kendo. Look, there's the old Kakariko Village. So, I mean, you've played Ocarina of Time countless times. It looks nothing like this.
No, not at all.
Now, isn't that so weird, though, to see just where they were. And there's all this extra shit too that got cut out of the game. It was a very ambitious game. One of the all-time, one of the best ever. I never will go back and play it for Twitch, but I'd like to go back and play it for myself one day. It just sounds fun.
Well, there supposedly is a rumor that they're going to remaster it again for Switch.
If that happens, I'll buy it day one.
Me that week. So will I, and I will now own another version of that game.
How many versions do you own, Kendo?
I got the 64 version somewhere. Same. I have the digital virtual console downloaded on my Wii U. I have the 3D remake for my 3DS, so I have 3 different versions of it.
I have the original on N64. I have the GameCube Wind Waker re-release with the Master Quest, as well as the original version of Ocarina of Time, and then I have a fucking ROM that I've played on a computer before. So technically, two legal copies and 1 bootleg.
Yeah, but if they go and they're like, "Oh, we're going to remaster it and release it on Switch," I'm like, I'm in.
So somebody just sent me this. Did you guys know that Walker Texas Ranger, the reboot, had just launched?
Yes, with Jared Padalecki as Walker.
I'm a little
I saw
late
the commercials for that the other day.
So I just started watching Supernatural late last year. I think it's a fun show. I like it. And I like Jared Padalecki. I like Jensen Ackles. I think they're good, entertaining guys. But Jared Padalecki does not seem like the type of guy that can replace Chuck Norris, because no one can. And if you're going to try, he's just not the right guy. And I didn't realize this was already out, and the reviews are not kind. Can you guys guess what it has on a score of 1 to 10?
A fucking 4, because it looked terrible.
Kendo?
0, apparently, from Kendo.
Yeah. Well, since he's still dead, Kendo guesses a 0, and the answer is a 5. Walker is a complete antithesis of everything the original version was, which itself wasn't particularly good.
Yep.
There you go, folks. We reviewed we looked into Walker Texas Ranger. There you go.
And you know, I'm a big fan of Jared Padalecki because I love Supernatural. And I guess that was part of the draw, was because he's from Texas, I guess. But, dude, just like the pictures. I mean, he looked like it was a fucking Halloween costume. You know, and again, you know, it's trying to get the fans of Supernatural from the later half of the show. But yeah, it did not look very good, dude. Is it still on CBS?
I mean, it just came out, so I don't think they canceled it yet, but I believe it's on CBS.
Dude, that's too goddamn funny. That is way too funny, dude. Holy shit. Too funny.
So we have covered a lot of topics tonight rather quickly, but we have one more. This is the one I wanted to mediate, guys, because this is the difficult question. It's another one of the 3. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I am emotionally. God damn it. I knew it. Fuck.
Oh. Okay. There's got to be some rationale here. You can't just go in guns a-blazing saying these guys are my favorite, the rest can't exist. Okay.
I don't know if I can do this one, dude. I preferably or purposely avoided it on Facebook when God damn it.
I think I can do this. So through process of elimination, I can definitely say the Ultimate Warrior, we can get rid of him.
Yeah, you don't say.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so that one's easy. That was easy. So you got to go for like history-wise and what. Oh man, because I was gonna say you could keep Macho over Hogan because Macho could have been what Hogan turned out.
I'm gonna say this, Kendall. Let me go first because I'm the one that really doesn't want to do it. So I'm gonna go first. Get your gears turning. And then obviously Jeff, because clearly you hate us and you're mad at us for some reason, which is why you put this
what
up
the
there.
fuck did we do to you?
You can go last.
I love you guys. Question mark?
Okay. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Question mark. Fuck you too. Listen. Okay. I'm gonna say this, and because part of this one is going to hurt me because I don't want to do this. But I will agree we can get rid of Warrior for sure. Warrior was, dude had the look. Promos were crazy. That doesn't mean that they were fucking good. And then Jim Hedwig was a fucking crazy person. So I'm going to keep that in there.
And he was completely gassed and blown up before he even got to the ring by sprinting down.
Yes. And as many times he would talk about getting blown up, that dude had terrible fucking cardio. Whatever. Everyone, Jeff knows how I feel about Bret Hart. But he wasn't a huge, in terms of pushing the business forward, great ring technician, but the dude was never anything super special. Fucking Diesel, arguably the worst WrestleMania main eventer of all time. I have no problem getting rid of him. Again, Sting, good. I'd say the height of his career wasn't obviously until the fucking 90s. It wasn't like he was a trailblazer early in his career, especially in early WCW. Outside of those early matches with Flair. Now that's when it gets fucking sticky to the icky. Of all the great ones left, I love Razor Ramon, but he's, if he doesn't exist, wrestling doesn't take a fucking huge hit. I will say, from that point on, as much as Hogan wasn't a great in-ring technician, even by his own admission, his matches were run in, get beat up, throw the leg, leave. If he's not in wrestling, it's probably not where it is today. I mean, I'd say it's a 90% chance that dude just hit it where when the iron was hot, he was the fucking man. So he's got to stay. He has to stay. And when you have Hogan staying, you need the opposite of a dude who is 100% a worker, who is the fucking man, who is the Jordan, the actual true Jordan of wrestling. You got to have Ric Flair, mainly because it's Ric Flair. I mean, the dude just did shit. The little shit mattered so fucking much, which leaves us with two of my ultimate fucking favorites, Roddy and Macho Man. And I fucking love Piper. He is by far the greatest bad guy of all fucking time. That being said, Macho could be the best bad guy and the best babyface of all time. And that's the only reason why he's staying and Roddy's fucking not existing. Because as great as his heel promos could be, Piper wasn't a great babyface until he was retired. And Macho Man, I mean, if you don't have Macho Man, you don't have The Rock, you don't have Chris Jericho. That dude is on the Mount Rushmore of promos. He's, if you don't have Macho Man, there's, I don't think Hulk gets as hot as he does. And then again, the dude, and he has a wrestling skill fucking, if not better than Ric Flair. I gotta go Flair, Hogan, and Macho Man. And as much as it pains me, and I fucking love Piper, that's my top three.
I did put this on here because I hate you guys. No, I'm just joking. I saw this and I love these types of discussions.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my all-time favorite's not on this list, so I don't have to throw The Rock on there to just be like, well, I have to have The Rock or else I'm not a wrestling fan. Therefore, I wouldn't know Dion or Kendo, so that's why it's important. But I'm going to go... Hulk Hogan has to be on there because he's the most important wrestler of all time. Macho Man's just too good that you need Macho Man. And the thing is, I hate to say it, Kevin Nash is the first person I throw off. Fuck him. I think he's a funny guy, and I think I'd like him as a person, but Diesel was not that cool. Now, Kevin Nash in the WCW, that's a different story. But this is Big Daddy Cool Diesel, and this is Razor Ramon, and they can both go away because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, a little different. Bret Hart, he's the hardest one for me to get rid of. I respect him. Sting was never a Sting guy, so I don't really have any frame of reference. Met Roddy Piper, a cool guy, and the Ultimate Warrior was crazy, so whatever, fuck him too. But yeah, Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair. That's it for me.
Good choice.
This is an amazing. Why don't we do this? What'd you say?
Yeah, have Kendo do his too, because I know he's a huge wrestling fan as well. So I got to hear what Kendo. That's why I went first, because I had to rip the Band-Aid off. I want to see Kendo's thought process.
So, for me, my problem is I can break from the gate really easy and pick two. Flair and Macho Man. That's easy. That's the easiest ones for me right there. Is I gotta keep those two. Again, Diesel, Razor Ramon, Warrior, those would be the easiest ones to get rid of for me. And, it'd be Warrior would be easy to get rid of, then Diesel, then Razor, because I can go with Jeff's logic. You don't have Nash and Hall, because if it was Nash and Hall, then we have a different discussion. But it's easier to get rid of those. Sting, I did like Sting. I thought Sting did some good. Sting did a lot of good, and he was fun to watch, but to me, he's really similar to somebody else on the list who I really, really love and is one of all my, favorites, and Bret Hart. So I can take Bret Hart over Sting. Hogan, I can lose Hogan because I still have Macho Man. But then it gets me down to now I have to choose between Hogan, Piper, and Bret Hart. And it gets really fucking difficult there. I can excuse Hogan and let him go. And I have to choose between Bret Hart and Roddy Piper. And I don't want to be a total homer and pick one of my favorites of all time and just say, well, easily Bret Hart. But it's like, who the hell do I pick? Do I pick Piper or do I pick Bret? Do I pick Piper or Bret? I don't know. It's too difficult a decision to make. So I'm just going to go with the cop-out, and I'm going to go for the tic-tac-toe and take Bret Hart.
Oh, I know Dion's heart's broken because that's his favorite.
It's heartbreaking for me, too. I don't want to leave Piper off. But if I have to choose, do I want to watch a Bret Hart match or a Roddy Piper match? I'm going to pick a Bret Hart match. If I want to watch a promo of Roddy Piper or Bret Hart, it's easy. Bret Hart's promos weren't any good until he turned heel and became like anti-American. Then they were funny as hell. But yeah,
those were amazing. Isn't he the first person to ever say bullshit on the WWF?
I think so.
What?
First person to ever say the word bullshit on the WWF?
Yep. Because he claims that he thought they were off air. It's like, come on, dude, you're a terrible liar. Almost as bad as your promos.
I love to get to talk about wrestling on the road to WrestleMania. We're getting closer. Sadly, not going to go this year because what the fuck's going on? They haven't even announced if people can go officially. But
it's over 2 nights, so you got that going for you.
That's the reason why it's a no-go for me. I don't think they're going to have people there for it fully. I think they'll have planted people to make it look a certain way, kind of like how the football does it. But I don't think they're going to have, because Dion, Kendo, you too, we've all been to WrestleManias, multiple WrestleManias. It's not I can be, and I'm not even worried about being too close to other people. I'm not, afraid of these things, but I don't want to have to wear a fucking mask at WrestleMania. I don't want to be that close during this shit. Like, it's just garbage. It sucks that they're going forward with it the way they're going forward with it, but I'm still going to be as excited as I would if I could go, because it's not a really high compliment. Don't take it as that. But what do you guys think the rest of the year is going to, or the rest of the build to WrestleMania looks like? You think Roman Reigns versus Goldberg really is going to happen?
Yes.
I do, sadly. Which is a double-edged sword, right? Because at least it's not Roman Reigns Rock. But I think it's going to be Reigns and Goldberg, which is just the most Vince fucking thing ever. Dude can't help himself. Have they officially said it's going to be in Tampa Stadium, or is it still going to be at the Performance? Damn,
no,
dude.
they're going back to the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, it's definitely going to. I think it's going to be, again, for sure, be Goldberg and Reigns, which is just depressing as fuck.
Yeah, and here's the part that even bothers me worse than that: the idea that it would be Reigns versus Goldberg, because I haven't watched a WWE thing since Royal Rumble last year, and that was only because I wanted to go hang out with some friends I hadn't seen in a while. That I know that was gonna be like the last time I'd get to hang out with a group of people for a long time. Didn't see that coming. But the fact that if it's going to be Reigns versus Goldberg, they have to figure out how to get Goldberg into the title match. And what's the easiest way to get Goldberg into the title match? He wins the Royal Rumble. So they could totally ruin the Royal Rumble by having fucking Goldberg win it.
They've done it before. I mean, in terms of ruining the Rumble. So, I mean, I could see it. Reigns and having fucking Triple H win it.
Because Goldberg was supposed to fight Drew McIntyre at Royal Rumble, but then he got the COVID. So I don't think he's going to be in the fighting Goldberg at the Royal Rumble. So what's the next best thing? Throw him in the Royal Rumble. He can win it, and then he can go fight against Ooh-Ah.
If Goldberg wins the Royal Rumble, I don't really drink much anymore. I'm going to drink myself stupid, and then I'm just going to protest WrestleMania this year. Fuck. Dude, I don't even dislike Goldberg as a person. Like, I have nothing bad to say about his character, but god damn it, dude, retire. Fuck. It's not cool. it hasn't been fun to watch Goldberg wrestle since 2003. Even then, because 2004 he fucking fought Brock Lesnar in the worst WrestleMania match maybe ever. So I'm not a hater. I'm not here to rip on Goldberg constantly. I know his place in wrestling history, and that's also why I talk about him a certain way, because I know his place in wrestling history. This isn't WWE Goldberg where they tell you he's this and that, and he can go the distance and go an hour like Ric Flair. No, Goldberg is not an Iron Man. Goldberg can wrestle 60 seconds, not 60 minutes. He goes in.
He almost killed The Undertaker at Sweet Saudi Money Mania.
Yeah.
And I mean that for people that aren't paying attention, that don't follow these things. Like his finishing move is this thing called the jackhammer, where he essentially picks the guy up in a vertical suplex, and it's like a sort of brainbuster maneuver. Well, Goldberg is old and not as strong as he used to be, and The Undertaker is still a big guy. And he tried to pick him up, and it didn't go up like it was supposed to, and he dropped him on his like head and neck and almost paralyzed the guy.
Yeah.
He's not safe, and he gave Bret Hart the stroke. No, he kicked him, which caused
concussion.
He fucking kicked his head off into Rose Zed.
Yep. And then if he fucking main events WrestleMania, this will be another at least co-main event that he's fucked up, because they did the same thing when they took the belt off of Kevin Owens and gave it to fucking Goldberg so we can have another Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match that was better than the last one, but still shouldn't have been for a goddamn world title. And if he does it again, and listen, while I understand his place in wrestling history, I'm not like that. I don't like him as a fucking person, because Goldberg is the dude who talks so goddamn much. You know, he loves to go on about why he does it for the kids, he does it for his kids, and he wants the children wrestling fans to love him and this, that, and the other, which is all fucking bullshit. I knew that he was full of shit when he dumped on Vince after they bought WCW. Oh, it wasn't, you know, don't blame WCW, but Vince was but I came back for the kids. No, bitch, you came back to be world champion and get paid fucking money. And I don't like that dude. I think he's full of shit, and his ego is a hell of a lot stronger than he ever was, and he's gonna fuck up another main event because for some reason Vince refuses to acknowledge that Goldberg is not the man anymore. No one wants to see this guy. The kids that you want to watch wrestling don't know who the fuck he is, and the actual OG fans, they're not that big of Goldberg fans anymore. It's not the fucking late 90s, dude. He's not a badass anymore. He's just not a badass. I'm sorry.
Now,
have him do something else.
I do have a solution here.
Oh,
so say we get screwed and Goldberg wins the Rumble and we have to watch him fight the Tribal Chief King Uwa at WrestleMania. What if during that event Goldberg's lining up to hit him with a spear and Scott Hall comes out and hits him with a cattle prod?
I would laugh.
History repeats itself.
You know, WWE kind of likes doing the same shit over and over again, so they could pull something out of the WCW bag of tricks and swerve them, bro.
Listen, sober Scott Hall versus Goldberg, the rematch that no one knew they wanted. Let's do it.
I still don't know if I want it or not.
I really don't either. Scott Hall is not in the best of shape, so I would think that would be very, very bad for everybody involved.
Listen, I mean, you're already bringing Goldberg back. Fuck it. You know, so I get it, man. The spear was such a cool finisher. You know, when he could do it, the jackhammer was dope as fuck, and he looked cool. You know, I get it. Spearing Rosie through the barricade was cool. Spearing, Jericho through the fucking elimination chamber was cool. That was fucking 15 years ago.
Spearing Russo through the cage to allow him to become the WCW champion was not cool.
Bro. Now, I have lost respect for Goldberg because El Gallo de Oro says, you guys hear him shit on Bret Hart on Stone Cold's podcast and say it wasn't his fault that he retired Bret. Bret then went off on Goldberg on Stone Cold's podcast. Yeah, I don't make excuses for Bret Hart because I know what kind of guy he is about certain things, but he never hurt people. Goldberg, fuck off, dude. I can't believe you're not going to take this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think his body count might be as high as the Ultimate Warriors when it comes to cross hurting your opponents.
Well, at least they haven't killed a guy like the Great Khali did. So,
God damn.
True.
Sorry, that was me.
that went dark real fucking quick.
I can make it even darker. The only person the Ultimate Warrior took out of commission was himself. Boom. There you go.
Oh, that was a nasty line by you. Listen, I listen, man. Yeah, fuck. You sick son of a bitch. You sick son of a bitch.
I'm still detecting no inaccuracies in that statement.
I know. That's the fucked up part. This dude ain't fucking lying saying all this shit.
Oh.
Listen, man. I can admit that I am super biased. Jeff knows how I feel about all the WCW guys that, didn't come over and came up with reasons why they didn't come over. I was vehemently fucking against Sting for fucking years. I mean, I fucking hated that guy for the longest time. I just hate when vets hide behind bullshit words and phrases, and then they get to a certain place, and then all of a sudden they wanna tell the truth and they want to be honest on all this bullshit. Like, the honesty bit doesn't change over the years. Either something happened or it didn't, and then you want to try and hold on to some bullshit. If he's not if he's not wrestling Nia Jax, it's gonna be a fucking shit show. And him running down Brett, bitch, you got super famous and you were green as shit. If you want to tell everyone how something isn't your fault, talk about how William Regal schooled your fucking ass on TV and he almost got fired for that shit. How about you tell that fucking story? But you don't want to, right? Because it doesn't make you look good, right, Goldberg? Because you're doing it for the kids and you're all about positivity and fucking military presses, you fucking bald fuck.
Yeah.
God damn.
Stay fucking retired.
Seriously.
I want to see Dion in a wrestling match versus Goldberg and Zack Snyder.
Dude, I would beat the shit. Listen, I go and another dude I hate is fucking New Jack. But boy, you put me in the ring with those two. There's gonna be some furniture moving in this.
I am not a fan of extreme wrestling, but I love New Jack.
And I am on the opposite side where I am not a fan, and I don't want to fight New Jack because I don't want to get stabbed.
Yeah, no,
he will 100% stab
you. He will stab you. He will throw you off of a fucking balcony. He does not care. But
there are a few people I don't ever want to share a room with. New Jack is one of them because I don't want to get stabbed.
I would listen to that dude tell stories. And
dude, I would love to hang out with New Jack.
Because he drinks screwballs all the fucking time?
Yep.
I would 100% watch that. But I'm not like play fighting with that dude. I'm not wrestling with that fucking dude. I'm like, listen, if you... I'm the dude that's like, listen, we can hang out and drink and you can tell us stories and be crazy, but if you go nuts, that's like the one person where you're like, if I have to kill somebody in self-defense, I'm not going to feel bad about it being New Jack. Like, if you reach in your pockets too fast, I'm a fucking roundhouse kick your goddamn head off because I know that you're crazy as shit. Like,
I would be okay with Jack because
I ain't leaving that dude in the same. Yes, go ahead.
All the shoot interviews I've listened to, and whenever he's talked about how he's gone off and gone crazy, there's a certain thing that people have said to him to cause him to do that. And since I never would plan on saying anything like that to anybody, I think I'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. But you don't know. That dude, and my problem with him is how comfortable he is with just being a crackhead. He's like, well, I was just doing coke. I'm like, you shouldn't be so comfortable with that you just admit that you go off on the deep end. And you might not say anything to him, but you might look, you're like, oh, my phone went off. And the fact that your ringtone is the fucking, is Gloria, he might fucking lose his shit and try to kill you. And we just can't fucking have that shit. I wouldn't leave this dude in a room with anyone that I know, let alone care about. That dude cannot be fucking trusted. Listen, if I'm throwing a fucking head kick or if I'm throwing a wrench, I'm aiming for that fucked up forehead to put him out right away because that dude is insane. Yes, aiming right for that.
I'm in the Cult of Cornet Facebook group and New Jack is in there, and because him and Corny are buddies from way back, and he did a cameo for somebody. I can get you into the Cult of Cornet, and he did a cameo for somebody the other day. New Jack did, where he was like wishing him a happy birthday. It was one of the greatest videos I've ever watched. It is awesome. I will get you in there, and I will try to get you link you to that so you can see that. But if 100%. Somebody was going to send me a cameo birthday wish and it was New Jack, I'd be happy with that. I'd be like, that's fine. I'm okay with New Jack.
Well, let me cancel the Ernie Hudson one and get you New Jack instead.
I mean, I'd rather have Ernie Hudson but if I want to be called a motherfucker, then definitely New Jack.
Listen, perfect. I'm just amazed that motherfucker is married.
I'm amazed he's still alive.
Well, we all are at this point. We all are. I mean, the fact that the dude was drinking fucking screwballs during the Dark Side of the Ring tells you all you need to know. The dude's like, yeah, no, I'm drunk right now. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I would pay so much money to sit in a room and have him telling me stories. At the same time, I'm not leaving him in a room where like my family is at. Like, if even if it's just you guys, like, hey man, we're gonna hang out with New Jack. I'm not leaving you guys alone with that dude, because someone might have to put Cujo the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, I can't trust that dude with things that I care about. Like, he is the dude. That's all scar tissue. That's how crazy that motherfucker is.
Yeah,
you can't trust that dude with an actual screwdriver, let alone the drink.
I love Alexander the Great in his comment. Kevin Nash tore his quad listening to this.
Yes, he did.
Dude,
So
that wasn't
folks
CM Punk's sister changing the channel either.
Folks that don't watch wrestling, this is a true story. This guy named Kevin Nash stepped over the rope, took 2 steps across the ring, and tore his quad and fell down. That's it. He just walked. He tore his quads and fell down on TV. I remember watching that as a kid. I was like, ha, he tripped. And then he was off TV for like a year. So
I could listen every time Jeff tells that story too. When we talk about it, I bust out laughing because he always ends it with, and he was off TV for like a year. That is just the best way to end that story. I laugh every single time. And Kevin Nash, for all the wrong reasons, you make me laugh, dude. Oh my God, you make me laugh. He was off TV for like a year.
Well, since Podbean has now allowed us to do the podcasting network for the just getting the higher tier, now opens us up to a podcasting network. I've been playing around with the idea of doing a show where I just talk about wrestling by myself. I literally tell a story, like the story of WrestleMania 19, how The Rock and Stone Cold fought. And I want to do a one-man wrestling podcast where I just tell the narrative of a feud. So be on the lookout for that, Dion. I might tell the story of Kevin Nash and how he tore his quad, and I'll end it with, and then he was off TV for like a year.
Yeah, that'd be the great ending. And then, of course, you got to talk about the ultimate rivalry. Vince McMahon's quads versus the side of the ring, which I think is a fantastic story.
Yeah, Royal Rumble.
I'll do a tale of, well, I can't do a tale of 2 quads because Vince tore both of his, and a tale of 3 quads.
Just both a tale of torn or a tale of torn quads.
There we go. I'll do that. But no, Kendo, I still want us to do wrestling content and stuff for Patreon like we do. But I've just been planning out this idea because, well, I'll tell you more off air because there's business stuff, behind the scenes too and plans. But yeah, I just thought it'd be fun because I really love wrestling. Business. I also finally got caught up. Business. I'm caught up mostly on Richard. So did you watch the No Holds Barred episode or listen to it? Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that. What was that?
Did you listen to the No Holds Barred episode of the Pritchard Show?
Oh yeah, the one where they watched the movie.
Yeah. Did you fucking line?
Yeah, I listened to that one.
That tiny wanger shit. I keep thinking of that. The way Bruce Pritchard says that, it just makes me laugh every time. Tiny wangers. Yeah. Folks, we have we're about 3 likes away from 500. Let's hit that tomorrow morning. And the show's not over. Don't go away yet. Tomorrow morning we have Good Morning Pop Culture at 10 a.m. Pacific. So whatever time. Figure it out. Figure out where you are in your neck of the woods and watch us tomorrow. That'll be because we had 1,000 thumbs up on the High Council. And guess what? Because you guys wanted it so much, you'll get one more next week. So you guys can keep that rolling. Just keep hitting those thumbs up buttons. So, every time we're streaming, let us know you like it. And thank you to everyone who just hit that button. Now, our friend Barney the Nucleosaurus Woke Reeks says, please look up a video by Cinema Rocks Pizza called Dune 2020 Trailer Color Graded. I have been watching this while we're talking. I don't have the sound on right now because we're on the show, but it makes it look slightly better, I guess. I have to go back and compare it to the first. Oh, okay, they just made the color palette a little warmer. It looks cool. I'm going to send you guys the link. If Dune looked like this, would you be more interested in watching the film? You guys can check it out now, later, whenever you want, but let me just share the link so you guys have access to it. Because Dune is one of those interesting situations where will it be able to get sequels and more stuff because it's coming out on HBO Max and it's a different metric? Therefore, will Dune get lucky? That's what I'm trying to say. Will it be in this weird enough gray area where just because it's on streaming and in a theater, it'll be looked at as, well, we got to give it the benefit of the doubt because of the hybrid release, and therefore they won't be as hard on it if it underperforms. Do you think that's a possibility?
I think it. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility for sure. Especially with the way that Dune has this, following. I think it's super possible.
Okay. Thank you, Darian 217. Let's read a few more of our super chats, and then we are gonna close out the show. First off, our friend Ben Parker. We did read yours. Thank you. We read Barney's. Grizzly Taco. Great name, says the Snyder Cut, more like Crisis with Infinite Marthas.
Why'd you say that name?
I have to send that to Joel because that's Joel's favorite storyline. Dion, that was one of the cooler moments hanging out with Joel. We went to a convention and he got to meet his favorite artist. And Joel always acts crazy and stuff. It was really neat to see him interact with his absolute favorite because it was to see Joel act like that was way different than anything you've ever seen. So next time we hang out with him, you can, if you ever need to talk shit to him, say, you need to treat me like you treat George Perez. That's like the ultimate sign of respect.
Deal.
TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much. He says, I'm going to go with Super Smash Brothers, GoldenEye, and Zelda. Now, TLJ Screwjob, the hardest decision on that list for me was Super Smash Brothers because I love the franchise, but the first game's not my favorite. And then when Kendo said that it never exists, that means the franchise doesn't exist. And that was difficult. But I had to gauge Zelda is one of my all-time favorites. GoldenEye is my absolute favorite. And I put more time on No Mercy than I did on anything else that wasn't Golden. Actually, maybe No Mercy is my top spot on most hours played. Point is, those are excellent choices. That would have been my list if No Mercy wasn't on the list.
Right. See, that's why I asked, because if No Mercy does, if I leave that off and it doesn't exist, I'm okay because I still have the WCW NWO title in existence. So because they came out before No Mercy, because they're the ones that went into THQ and it's like, hey, we're going to give you more money than WCW so you can make our game with their engine. Oh, okay.
Oh, we also have
that I missed THQ. Goddamn.
Well, they're back, kind of. I think, aren't they called THQ Nordic now? Something like that. Darth Fatass. This is an idea, guys. I think we should do for YouTube videos, maybe Patreon, maybe YouTube. Drunk eBay purchases to make videos about it. Don't smell like any axe wound.
I mean, shit. I could just pull up my history and go from there.
What is the craziest thing either of you guys have bought, drunk or high? Folks in the chat, same question to you. Because Jesse and I bought a pressure cooker.
I've never bought anything like that. Usually it's just stuff of things that I like. Like one day I ended up buying, I was drunk and I was watching Alf and I ended up buying because Burger King had these little stuffed Alfs from back in the 80s that it was him in different little outfits and stuff. And I stumbled upon one person that was selling all of them. It was like $40 and I just bought it. So that would be one of them. But
I'm looking through my Amazon purchases to see if there's anything stupid I bought.
I mean, I've got a whole list on Amazon. It's literally called stuff to waste money on. It's literally shit I don't need, but I want to spend money on it. Like the fucking dinosaur spaghetti thing where it's like a big spoon for doing cooking and stuff. And it's got the little forks on the end, whatever the hell they're called. And it's usually for pasta and stuff like that. There's one, it's a dinosaur one. It's like a green and it's got a T-Rex head on the end of it. And its teeth are like the tines. And I'm like, dude, I want that to go with my fucking Loch Ness, ladle.
The Loch Ness ladle.
Yeah.
You should do a mythical creature themed kitchen.
I could. I do. I got that as a gift. It's a fucking Loch Ness monster ladle. It says Nessie comes up out of your soup to bring you goodness or something on the tag when I got it. I was like, this is awesome.
Dean Holstoffel says, you guys see Jericho nearly break his neck botching the worst lion salt I've ever seen last night? His body just continues to melt too. LOL.
But I will see it tonight because I've got that recorded from last night to watch tonight because yesterday was Wednesday night, but I didn't stay up late to watch Kenny Omega while I masturbate last night. That'd be tonight.
I'm glad you needed a good night's rest.
I did.
I was actually looking up the GIF right now because let's see if it pops up. I didn't see it, but I want to. It's weird. I'm a big supporter in quotations of AEW, as much as like when the show comes out, I'll pay for it. I don't stream it, but I don't really watch them regularly. And the problem is I want to. I just don't have cable, and I have so many other things to do. So I feel weird. I'm like an AEW fan in quotations, but not that I follow it. Does it still track as being a fan, or is it just like I'm an observer?
I mean, you financially support them by buying the pay-per-views. I mean, I try to watch it each week, even though most of the time I'm just like, well, what the fuck is going on here? Why is Tony Khan obsessed with fucking late 90s WCW?
I mean, what happens when you have billions of dollars at your disposal and you can buy your favorite childhood memories? Of course.
I mean, that's what's happening. That is really what's happening over at All Friends Wrestling.
I hate to say it, but I thought shit like that would happen when you WCW went down for a reason, and other companies that follow that model will go down for the same reason. And this is coming from a guy who thinks Vince McMahon hasn't had a good idea in decades. But Jesus, like, don't follow the WCW. It's fun to look back and think of how cool that shit was, but it died for a reason, and it wasn't because Vince McMahon just bought them. They went out of business for other reasons.
Right.
And I don't want to see the competition make those mistakes, because TNA is a goddamn joke. I don't care if you want to change TNA Impact or Impact Wrestling.
Right.
Well, now TNA's working with fucking AEW.
Yeah. Omega was just on their last interview. Listen, I definitely think you guys are a hell of a lot more doom and gloom than what is respectable right now. And listen, I'm not a huge fan of Sting being in AEW. You know, I don't watch it super regularly, but I watch it off and on regularly, especially when I can catch it. You know, I've been buying a couple of last pay-per-views. But if Jericho was a multi-time world champion, or if Sting were already world champ and all this shit, then I would agree. You know, wrestling's always gonna have goofy, dumbass ideas. But you know, MJF, that dude, I'm a huge fan of that guy. You know, that's a good example that's a great example of them not, following that same WCW thing. You know, Orange Cassidy. I know you hate him, which makes me. I love that you.
I think he's hilarious.
But that was.
He wrestles with his hands in his pockets.
It was so good, and that just the character's so goddamn funny. The sunglasses, it got over organically. You know, just the fucking him with the pockets and the fucking Denim Dan outfit, the aviators. It's so stupid. It works well. You know, Sammy Guerrero fucked up, but he's a great wrestler. He fucked up. They handled his bullshit really well. You know, the Mimosa match was dumb as fuck. I still hate that. That was a terrible fucking idea. You know. But they're doing some shit. Overall, they're not as bad as WCW. And they're luckily not doing the same shit with that Vince does, where they just shove a guy down your fucking throat over and over and over again. You know, and then obviously making Mox your champion. You know, and they didn't do the thing that I was afraid they were going to do when they first started, and make Kenny Omega the first world champion and then lose. And they didn't do that. So that alone gets them some serious brownie points with me. Now that he's finally champion, we'll see what he does. You know, him going on Impact, I'm not the greatest fan of that, because I think, Impact's clearly a very poisoned brand right now. But hey, I mean, we'll see how that shit goes. They're not as bad as a lot of people are saying. I mean, now that Sting shouldn't be there, but again, it could be way worse. It could be way worse.
Wait, Sting's in AEW?
Yeah, he came back. All he's done is just like walk out with his bat and stare at people.
Yeah.
Wow, I missed that completely.
Yeah, that was like 6 weeks ago.
Look. Yeah, it's not a great look, but whatever. Oh. And then they're giving Taz the mic a lot more now because he's running a stable and it's kind of lame. But again, we'll see. But yeah, they're pushing the right dudes. MJF is still so fucking great right now. They, thank God, pulled the reins in on Matt Hardy because his ass had a match and he almost fucking killed himself again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but, they've kind of finally stopped giving him a lot of free reign. But yeah, they're I still have faith. They're still doing overall way better than I thought they were going to.
MJF is the best thing they've got going.
Yes, agreed.
I'm ready to sit down and watch when we can finally get into the same room. We'll watch AEW.
For sure, it'll be fun to watch it all together. But yeah, it's and again, they didn't, to further drive home the point that they're not WCW. It would have been super easy for Cody to make himself world champion, and he didn't do it. He made himself TV champion, TNT TV champion, even though the name of that title pisses me off. But he was TV champion. He had a match where if he loses, he can't fight for the world title. He lost. So they're not doing, at the very least, we're not getting Bischoff, Hogan, and all that bullshit. Luckily, so I think they're doing the right shit for now, for sure.
Well, let's see. We had Mike W. also says I stopped watching after WrestleMania 4. Well, that's before I was even born, dude. I was born later that year. Sorry to make you feel old. Our friend Darian 217 says, Jeff, still got your tickets to go to Raymond James Stadium, or did you get your refund? I want a refund. I don't want them to go, would you like WrestleMania tickets for this year? No. You fucked up. I paid for WrestleMania 36 tickets, not 37 tickets. So, want my money back. Qui-Gon, thank you very much for your generous super chat. He says, trivia from India. Fake Taker, a.k.a. Brian Lee, acted as The Undertaker in a 90s Bollywood movie. Yeah. I was proud. I was one of the only kids who knew he wasn't the real deal. Also, Fake Diesel is better than Diesel.
Ooh.
Isn't Kane?
Yeah, Kane's Fake Diesel. So I would say in terms of career and abilities and things like that, yes, technically Fake Diesel did turn out to be better than regular Diesel. But yeah, no, Brian Clark. Was it Brian Clark? Yeah, I think it was Brian Clark. No.
Brian Lee.
Brian Lee. Yeah, Brian Lee was the fake Undertaker. And as a kid, I snuffed that shit out too because I'm a huge Undertaker fan. But fun fact, when they killed the Undertaker and raised him to the roof, that was Marty Jannetty.
Oh,
Marty was the fake Undertaker being raised up to the rafters.
Dude, some of the stuff he's been talking about lately, I'm just like, shut up, Marty Jannetty.
Dude, his brain is fucking gone.
I'm glad I didn't because I didn't want to be an enabler. But at the end of 2019, right before I moved out here, he was at a wrestling show that Rickett was working. And I was like, guys, we should just take Marty Jannetty out. Like, I was going to foot the bill. I just wanted to take him out and party with him. But then I'm like,
that probably would have ended badly.
Yes, that's why
I would have tried to kill you.
Yes, I didn't want to get stabbed. That's why I don't hang out with New Jack and I don't party with Marty Jannetty. I don't want to get stabbed. That's tonight's theme, folks. Jeff doesn't want to get stabbed by a wrestler from the 80s and 90s. No, sir. John Cena, I don't fear that one, but Marty Jannetty, maybe.
That man's got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Didn't he admit to killing a guy recently and
he backtracked on it real quick.
Yeah, he said it was for a storyline for wrestling or something like that. It's like, dude, what promotion are you in where you need to have a storyline about you killing somebody?
Who not only killing someone that apparently sexually assaulted you. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Well, thanks, Marty. Your art will suffer for it.
He just hasn't been the same. He has not been the same since he tried to run away from Shawn Michaels by jumping through the barbershop window.
I mean, broken glass to the brain will do that to a man.
Marty screwed Marty, guys. That's we all know that's what happened.
Right.
Thank you, Donkeysaurus Rex. Yes, we are warning you about all the wrestlers who might be a threat to you.
Yeah, there's something you can hang out with that'll be totally cool. I mean, Shawn Michaels nowadays is probably going to be all right because he's sane. Triple H seems like a type of guy that'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. Marty Jannetty, not so much.
Roger Haynes, thank you very much for your recommendation. I'm definitely buying this game. He says, if you like WWF WrestleFest, check out Retromania that comes out next month.
Yes, that's what I was telling you about the other day that I cannot wait for.
Yep, I'm going to get that for the Xbox. That'll be
family.
It'll be family. It'll be a nice little upscale because on the PS4 or the Switch, it'll look fine, but I feel like a game with illustrated style graphics like those classic instead of model-based, pixel-based, or it's pixel-based art instead of polygon-based art. Those kind of games always look better, bright, colorful, and on the biggest, highest resolution screens. I can't wait to play that type of shit. That's going to be... Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's even open anymore, but next time we're in Cincinnati, if we can go, there's a place called Arcade Legacy. They have just arcade machines out the ass. You pay $10 to play all day, and they have WWF WrestleFest. And Dan and I used to go there and play, but one of the joysticks was broken, so we'd always play with a broken machine and try to figure out, like, how are we going to win this match? So nice. I have good memories of that game. And then I think a couple of years ago, they did a remake of it for the iPhone. It had like The Rock and like weird Attitude Era people, but it was already like a modernized version of WrestleFest. So I'm gonna look that one up. It looked cool. I just didn't have an iPhone, so yeah, okay. They did have it for the iPhone. God, 2012. That's when it was. Darian217, thank you very much for your generous super chat. He says WWE could have given us Sting versus Taker as the most desired match we could have never had. The number of missed opportunities is endless. Granted, as a poster boy for WCW, Sting probably would have been dogged by Vince even more so. Darian, it pissed me off that Sting comes back to the WWE only to lose to Triple H and his ego. I get it, Triple H. We all liked the Monday Night Wars, and you guys won. We're all on the team that we were all Team WWF for the most part. Like, we get it. We've also stuck around as fans. We also know you guys won. Leave it alone. It's moments like that where ego ruined pro wrestling, because what it really should have been, guys, we gotta elevate Bray Wyatt. No, fuck off. Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker meant less than nothing. Or sorry, Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. Yeah, that was that WrestleMania because it was John Cena versus Rusev. Excuse me. That Bray Wyatt Undertaker match was whatever. He lost, and it didn't do shit for him. Bray Wyatt or Undertaker versus Sting would have been much better. It would have been cool. It would have sold more tickets, even though it was sellout. Dion,
Undertaker would have won that match.
Okay, Undertaker should have won that match.
Right.
I'm not even an Undertaker fan, and I'll say, you put Taker against Sting. If you want to do this is a throwing back to the Monday Night Wars or the final nail in the coffin situation, then you have the Undertaker beat Sting, and you could end the WCW WWF feud that way. Triple H was a secondary player in the Monday Night Wars. Just because you now own the company in quotations doesn't mean that you get to retroactively rewrite history.
Listen, and I said it then before we got to that show. I was like, Sting's gonna lose because especially all the shit he talked, especially when Booker showed up on SmackDown or showed up in confront of The Rock. All that shit. There was no fucking way that Vince was gonna let Sting win. He's fucking petty as shit, and he's damn sure not gonna let him beat his fucking son-in-law. That was never gonna have the old NWO and old DX come out. Of course, he's not gonna have DX look like a bunch of assholes.
Dude, when NWO came out to help Sting, I walked out of the room. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, that was dumb as fuck. That was dumb as shit.
Yeah, because we all know that half the NWO is Triple H's real life buddies, so
yeah, that and Sting was always fighting the NWO.
Yeah.
Well, WCW fucked that up too, because then he joined the fucking Wolfpack.
Yeah, well, they fucked it up by having the Wolfpack, but that's neither here nor there. We're not here to rebook the fucking disaster that was WCW at the end of their lifespan.
True.
No. The WWE has done enough rewriting of their history. And then finally, our friend Andy from the UK says, I'm still here cleaning up the Clam. It smells bad.
Oof.
Poor bastard.
I think that's the perfect way to end the show. Still cleaning up the Clam of Gwyneth Paltrow. Ugh. So, guys, there really isn't much left to say. So, we'll just call this one a night.
Free yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, thank you for watching. Next week is episode 250. So let's do something special, guys.
Cool.
All right.
I have no clue what it is. It just dawned on me right now. Next week is episode.
You got a week to plan it.
Yeah. So let's start planning it next Wednesday. We'll have a great show. No, but folks, we'll be back next week with episode 250. I have a video coming out tomorrow morning. Make sure you guys check that one out. And then I'll be back next week with a ton of videos. High Council this week will feature Chris Gore. Yes, the Chris Gore that you all know. Google him. He's been a part of popular culture for a long time, and he's really done what we do on the bigger scale, on the TV, talking about pop culture, analyzing it. Check it out. It's going to be a fun show. And then also make sure you guys are signed up for the comic. The link will be in the description. I put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat one more time. Remember, it's a cover from Anna, that Star Wars girl, drawn by myself, and you just saw some of the back art. So, stuff to be excited for. We got another super chat from our friend 007 Cloud. I'm going to read this at the very, very end. Also, Dr. Coffin Nails, I see the chat right now. You're the only one to say it tonight, but you get one.
Jammer
Jammer.
Oh, Kendo, I'm going to send you something real quick. I want you to react to it on air. It's like 8 seconds long, and it's an audio clip. I'll send it to you too, Dion. I want you guys to tell me what you think. While I'm doing that, though, any new Bernie Sanders memes become your favorite?
Nothing in the last 3
Nothing
hours.
yet, but I haven't really looked.
All right, there you go, Kendo. Dion, I sent you the Jam Ram sound effect. Play it at your own discretion. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Oh, now I got another Jam Ram in the chat. Shit. If I could put like a music clip as a button, I would. Let me try and see if it'll read it as that.
Jam Ram.
Anyway, I'll save that for next time. That'll debut in tomorrow's video, folks, so make sure you guys watch that. So, folks, we're going to get going. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching again. But thanks to all the new subscribers who've joined. We had a big upsurge, a lot, actually. So we're not here to brag. We're just here to say thank you and that we really appreciate everyone who stuck with us, everyone who's joining, and everyone who continues to watch the videos. It's a crazy time. That rocket ship is strapped to our ass right now, so we're just hanging on. So we're going to be pumping out content, we're going to be making stuff, and we're going to be bringing you guys all sorts of things in 2021. We did have another message pop up. 2 more popped up. Thank you, guys. First off, Joseph Bianowitz says, it's because they live in a van down by the river. I too, would love to live in a van down by the river, said no one. Guys, apparently, well, not apparently, Batwoman, she lives in a van down by the river.
She does. I watched Pete's review of it, and yeah, van down by the river.
That is just the most CW fucking thing ever. And
she becomes Batwoman because she fucking finds the outfit and says, "All right, that's cool. That's me now."
Can't wait to see this fucking goddamn Kindle go up in flames, man. It's gonna be great.
The ratings are dog shit. 0.10. That's
that show. Good.
Dude, we have multiple YouTube videos that got more views than Batwoman did.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, 663,000 people watched Batwoman. We've had like 7 or 8 videos top that, and we're not a national TV producing company. We're just, dude, honestly, it's
before the show goes out. We gotta have a bet just real quick. Over under episodes before it gets canceled.
I say it doesn't even last till the end of this season, so I'd say 7 more episodes.
You say 7 more? Okay, Kenneth, what are you saying? Over under?
I'm gonna say it's gonna get the rest of its season, and then they'll cancel it quietly. But they're so goddamn stubborn that they won't admit it's a failure, and they'll let the rest of the season just go through, and then just let it die a death.
Okay, I'm gonna say 10. It's gonna barely make 10 episodes, and then it's getting fucking canceled.
How many episodes are in a season for it? 13.
I think 20 something.
22 usually is like TV, so I'm guessing it's gonna still be 20 something, but I'm thinking 10. It might fucking go down depending on how this shit show goes, but goddamn, it's gonna be a beautiful ride.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. I think it's gonna get its whole season, and then it might go quietly away. But they're not gonna admit defeat.
No, it's just one of those shows where they're trying to send the message to the audience. And we're like, look, let us send a message right back to you. We don't want the shit. We're not going to watch it. People aren't watching it. I could understand if the Fandom Menace was bitching about something that was hugely popular and this and that, and everybody was, on board with the show, and we were the small vocal minority. This is
we were ragging on the MCU.
Yeah. Oh, we're so bad. Nobody likes this fucking show. Doesn't even have fans.
It's what they get, dude. It's what they get. You're making some teeny bopper bullshit with Batwoman, and it was never going to. Then you chase off your original star. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, look at Mark Hamill's Instagram for Bernie Sanders Star Wars memes.
That's awesome.
Well, guess what? We pulled them up. Here are a couple of them, folks. So we have Bernie Sanders as Luke Skywalker with 2-1B in the back of the tank. Annie Potts? Shit, Janine from Ghostbusters is commenting on this thread. Cool.
That's awesome.
That is cool. Luke Skywalker and Janine from the Ghostbusters. Or Melnitz is her name. Let's see. That's funny. There we go. Mark, you're not even posting the best Star Wars ones, but okay. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny. We saw that one earlier. This is a good one. I like it.
I like that one. There we go. That's a great one.
Very modern. I like it. I respect it.
Current.
Yeah, I think we're gonna leave this one on screen as we close out the show.
That's a great one. I love that one.
Okay, TLJ Screwjob says Tommy Elliott wants Kryptonite Bullet for Batwoman. Now, won't a Kryptonite Bullet just be too expensive because Batwoman has the show itself, Batwoman, doesn't even have any immunities to anything. You can only shield yourself from criticism so long. Having a black lead or a lesbian lead only protects you from so much. But I don't think you need to spend money on Kryptonite. How does what does Batman say in the New Frontier? I carry around $100,000 sliver of green rock. All I need to take you down is a book of matches. That's all you need for that show. Just a book of matches. It'll light up.
And they'll fucking buy the book for you.
Dude, this is a mean joke, but I'm going to say it. That show will go up like Michael Jackson's hair at the Pepsi shoot, all right? That shit will not last. It will not stick around. It will not do any good. It will just be remembered as a bad embarrassment, and then we'll just move on.
Yep, the most CW thing ever, and I cannot fucking wait.
So, folks, I am not going to be covering Batwoman at all on this channel because I don't want to. Go to eTip with Queen's Place to Be Reviews. Check out Mauler. Check out Rags and Wolf over on EFAP. They're doing all that stuff. Well, Rags is no longer streaming, right? It's Wolf that's still around. Sorry. Anyway, long story short, EFAP, they have it. eTip with Queen's Place to Be Reviews, they have it. If you bring it to our attention, of course, we'll talk about it because we're the epitome of pop culture. We talk about all of that shit. So, guys, anything else you want to say last minute before we close this baby out? It was a fun one, guys. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. I'm glad everyone had a good time tonight. And we'll be back next time, and we'll do it again. Same time, same channel. So from all of us here at World Class Bullshitters, thank you for watching. Good night. Be safe out there, but always be excellent to each other.
.com -- Cooter Candle.
Family?